good.
I think we are.
Yeah, we're live.
Cool. We're no longer lying. There we go. Yep, I can see us now. Hey, Prince, I was just watching Shogun right before I got here.
Well, pause it, because we've got Vigi games to talk about.
Well, I mean, I finished the episode I was watching.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Prince.
Oh, yeah. Fuck it, Prince. Stop watching that.
You can watch it another time.
We're the important thing.
We know you're streaming it. Just pause the stream. Watch it tomorrow.
Let me tell you though, I'm 2 episodes into that show, and I know I'm not caught up, but god damn, that show is good.
What is it on, Max or
Hulu?
Hulu? Okay.
Technically, it's an FX show, but it's streaming on Hulu.
Is it like a next day thing or?
No, I think it goes. I think it aired like the first. Yeah, like tonight. The new episode airs tonight, so it's already available. So
Okay.
Pretty sure. But they're already like 6 episodes deep.
Well, it's only like 8 episodes, right?
It's 10.
10.
And I think it's supposed to end, and I'm gonna catch up, and then have to watch it week to week for like 4 weeks probably. Oh well, that show's good.
I'll just wait for it all to be out, then I'll watch it.
Not a bad idea.
I binge.
I did finish Fringe.
You did mention that last week.
I did. Yep, I finished it. Just so you know, Prince, I don't know what boat scene you're talking about, unless it's from the first 2 episodes. Or I guess that'd be the first episode. And if that's the boat scene I'm thinking of, that was pretty wild.
It's interesting. Chat. Prince, do me a favor and type a couple messages in chat real quick.
It's a trap.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason, the restream chat, which lets me both chat rooms on YouTube and Twitch, it posted Prince's first message, but not the second one. But now it's working. I don't know.
What's up, Infrared?
Okay. I'm going to grab my coffee real quick.
Go for it. Got some stragglers tonight, so we're just hanging out, talking with chat. What's up, Mr. Papa Shot? Sterling Sky, hello. Very excited. New Alien trailer drops tomorrow. Pretty rad. Keep your eyes peeled. That new Furiosa trailer is pretty sick. No, I do not drink decaf. Dragon's Dogma 2 embargo list tomorrow. Shit's about to get real. Oh, man. I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight, guys. Well, yeah, I know a couple things we're going to talk about, but I don't know. I've kind of had my head down.
You've had your head down?
Okay, when I say I've had my head down, for me, it's nothing compared to you, Chris Davis.
Yeah,
I've come to realize that the most I can hope for on any given weekend, if I say I want to like really go hard on the game, is like, if I'm lucky, 10 hours maybe? 10 hours progress on a game in one single weekend.
That's a rookie number. You need to bump those up.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's just not in the cards most of the time. I mean, there's probably, you know.
And you probably spread that out between like 3 or 4 games, right?
Well, not right now. Right now, I'm bouncing back and forth between Rebirth and Persona 3, both of which I'm like keeping pace. Like my hour count is about the same in both. I thought this past weekend it would like shoot up for Rebirth, but it's kind of, I'm at like 45 hours in both.
So here's my thing. I have played 2 JRPGs back to back, both of which are over 80 hours long. I can't do another right now. I just can't.
I don't blame you. I don't want to. At this point, I'm worried I'm not even gonna feel down for Dragon's Dogma by the time I finish this, even though it's a totally different kind of game.
So I have to hold off on this for a while. And then
you got the like big thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
I didn't know you were that excited about Unicorn. I mean, I know it's on your thing.
I was excited for it. Also, it looked to be a pretty good collector's edition. But also, I don't think I can do Dragon's Dogma 2 right now. So I'm gonna play something else for next week.
I know what decision you made for next week, and good for you.
Oh, really?
I hope you enjoy it.
I haven't made a final purchase.
But you've stated your intentions. By the way, we're all here. You can do the cameras now. Now that Brad's here, I just wanted to put someone on Twitter on blast for a second because they tweeted.
Damn.
They replied to our message about going live with Unicorn Overlord is an actual thing. I saw a YouTube ad for it today and thought it was just another one of those clickbait mobile games because of how silly it sounded. I just wanted to say that. Thought that was pretty funny. I just realized now Brad can't even hear me.
It's okay.
Oh, he can.
Fuck makes you think I can't hear you?
I don't know. It doesn't look like
he's always listening, man.
Headphones in or anything.
Hello?
Hey, look. What's up? Crispy's here. What's up, Frankie? Frankie in chat. I mean, it's funny. Like this year is we picked this year for Brad to challenge me to this play Japan. Hello. I don't think he can hear us.
So, are you like making excuses? Well, this year's no good. This year's been
no. Listen, I didn't get to
Japanese games.
I know that's what I was actually about to say. Is that I'm looking at like all the games that I'm playing in the first like 3 months that I'm interested in playing that I would be playing probably anyways, and they're all Japanese games. I go from like years of like playing 1 or 2 Japanese games in an entire year to suddenly. The first 3 months are nothing but Japanese games.
Because
no. This was my plan all along. I mean, when you think about it,
I kind of believe you, but at the same time, as someone who didn't play Nioh 2 or Wolong, all of a sudden you're super interested in Rise of the Ronin. I mean,
first of all, I'm not prioritizing Rise of the Ronin probably, but I'm just saying like I'm looking at all the games right now that are the new games that are out that I would be interested in playing. I'm not even being optimistic. I'm just saying, if you look at my list of games that I would say, hey, I'm interested in trying that, not many of them right now are Western games. And that's just funny to me.
I'll say this. The first quarter is always super Japanese heavy because they're the Japanese fiscal year or whatever thing that ends at the end of March. They try to get their shit out before...
No. You're right. I mean, I'm a little worried that like when like this heavy deluge of Japanese games slows down, everything's gonna slow down. Like it's just gonna be.
I mean, there'll always be some stuff, but I mean, indies aren't gonna save you. Yeah, when you want those sorts of points. I mean,
Crispy got a 4-player koozie. Where the fuck did you get that, Crispy?
Oh, this.
Yeah, that.
His mom made it?
Did your mom make that too? She probably did.
She started making beer koozies and made a bunch of 4-player ones in both black and white.
We should hire your mom to like manage our like a merch store for us and just like hand produce everything.
Or we could just keep having her make stuff for us for free.
Hey, look, I have liked the idea of doing a 4PP store for a long time. In fact, we had one for a long time, but man, hard to justify these days. So
yeah,
hard to justify.
Yeah. Speaking of hard to justify,
well, considering,
if you want your own 4-player podcast koozie, Get at me.
I'll be adding you later. No, who left? Oh, no one left. Okay.
Yeah, I will, Nick. I mean,
this is not me saying I'm going to play all these
I
games.
say a few weeks ago, before I think you knew more about Unicorn Overlord. You were like, yeah, Unicorn Overlord. And I feel like now that you know a little more about Unicorn Overlord, you're like, okay, yeah, no, that's not for me. Which is fine. But I'm a little worried that might keep happening with your little list here.
No, I am interested in Unicorn Overlord. Here's the problem is, right now, by the time I finish Persona and Rebirth, man, I don't know if I want to play another RPG, just period. Like, I feel like I want to...
Aren't you going to play Dragon's Dogma?
I mean, that's what I'm worried about. Like, I hope I'm not burning myself out on RPGs in general.
How many points do you have after Persona and Rebirth? Persona is 4 points, right?
Yeah, so that would be 5.
5 points. You're halfway there, right?
Halfway there. But yeah, that's not the point. Like, I want to play. I want to be like, I'm super...
I should give out like half points to even get you to like... If you watch a trailer for a game that Brad requests, you get...
That's just to get me to watch that Trails in the Sky trailer, right?
No, like any fucking thing I ever link you, you're like, I'm on media blackout for Trails from...
I've actually never said that.
No, I know, but you know that's your option select. You know, I option select is something I've tried to like. It's like a fighting game term,
right?
That like the people who understand it, it's like hilarious. To when I the way I use it, but like only the people who understand the term in like fighting games terms, which is like a very like specific technical thing, will understand like why it's funny that I say something like Chris Davis when he says, well, you know, I'm getting my ass beat, but I'm fantasy critic, but I pick with my heart, you know, that's like an option select. And like Chai Tai understands why that's hilarious, but like only him and, you know, other people who know like the technical like fighting game terms. So
how was I to go to for that?
I'm trying to find out what like a really good, like I don't know how to translate it is what I'm trying to say. I could explain what it means in a fighting game in terms of like a technical fighting game way, but I can't.
It sounds
like in another language when you're trying to like, there's no real English word for this kind of thing, you know?
It sounds like you're saying an option select is like something somebody says when they know they're losing to like...
An option select.
No, I mean, you're right. Like that is...
Wait,
that is, well, I mean...
Crispy's reading the definition.
Priority systems to cover multiple different scenarios at once from the same input. Some option selects take advantage of screen freeze, others use the input system, and some use proximity. The way it's used, so it is a technical fighting game, but people also use it in terms of like you said, when someone loses and they're making like an excuse, but an excuse that just happens to be really convenient or whatever. It's like people use it in that way also in the FGC, right? Usually when someone is making excuses for why they lost or whatever, they say, you know, oh, he's using the option select, you know, the blank option select.
Gotcha.
Again,
okay.
That
is some nerd shit.
Because they can prevent opponents from escaping or punishing in scenarios where OSs are not used.
So like we could call it like the Chris Davis fantasy critic option select, which is the, you know,
that's too wordy.
You know,
but like I've said the same thing Chris Davis said. I pick with my heart too.
Exactly. Right? When a game comes out and scores poorly, and you're like, well, you know, I was picking with my heart. It's like that. Come on, dog.
Well, I was just saying that from the beginning. Like, so when it comes out later.
Yeah. But again, that's just an early year option select.
Hey,
you're
Brad,
covering all your bases with that one. And when a game comes out, you know, like when Unicorn Overlord comes out and does well, right? You're like, well, you know, I'm also playing the game, you know. I'm so questionable first round pick, but you know, I'm glad it paid out. I knew after I played that demo that it was gonna pay out, so I'm happy for you.
Brad, I did not get any footage for Princess Peach from you.
I don't think we're talking about Princess Peach.
What made you think I was gonna upload Princess Peach footage?
You've mentioned it in the chat.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I actually mentioned it, and then he corrected me because I thought the game was already out. It's not out, but Brad was.
Oh, so you're not talking about the demo? Okay.
God, you care so little about, the Japanese developed Nintendo game that you didn't even bother to look up when it came out, Nick. I thought you were super plugged in with it when it comes to video games.
I'm a little out of the loop the past 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie.
The demo.
In fact, I'm so at. Wait, oh, Chris Davis, did you get Nolan's footage?
Balatro, yeah.
I think it's safe to say now that it's too late for Crispy to sell. Fucking Princess Peach is like a turd, dude. Man, they did her wrong. They did her wrong. It'll be fine. It's not gonna score like Rise of the Ronin like that bad. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be, but like if this game scores like mid 70s, I will not be surprised. That it was kind of a wet fart of it.
I guess we'll find out tomorrow. We'll find out how wet the fart is.
There's a lot of games coming out tomorrow. We got Nolan's dub and Ed's L and Crispy's.
Wait. What's Ed's L? Oh, Rise of the Ronin reviews drop tomorrow.
Rise of the Ronin, yeah, it's gonna be an L.
Oh, really?
Infrared. Sorry, buddy. This is usually where I put that new Vince McMahon GIF. As a response to like everything now.
Everything.
But it's just it conveys a lot. It conveys a lot, so it's my
we all have that one gift that we feel conveys a lot of what we have to say.
Huh.
For me, I think it's the John Cena.
I'm still in the negative. Well, yeah, I'm still in the negative. None of my games have come out, and one of my counter picks has. It's gonna be like that for a while, actually.
Oh,
that's Brad's option select. I'm sorry.
But I mean, you kind of used it in the right way, but also like I just gave out facts, not excuses. That's, if we called it now, I would do quite poor.
So I'm just going to throw an idea out there for next week.
Oh God.
Would we like to do like a Fantasy Critic update looking at the communities leagues?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Oh, you mean, but not like as like the whole show because
No, but like we're 3 months into it. Like we ought to check in.
Sure,
we can quarterly check in as opposed to our weekly check in.
Well, no, quarterly check in for the community, weekly check in for us.
You're right. I think that'd be fun. I mean, we could just do like it might have even been good for this week, but oh well.
We could do it this week.
Do like a big Fantasy Critic episode where we cover the community league and just kind of talk whatever.
Well, here's the thing. I don't, aside from like we have 3 games impressions wise that we've already talked about. So like,
yeah, but you're right.
If we want to just like literally just shoot the shit for an hour and a half or whatever, that's cool too. You know what I mean?
Let's do a sound test.
I'm ready. I'm actually recording.
I mean,
we're probably gonna have to restart that.
That's the thing. Also, like, y'all, I don't know if y'all have footage, but like, y'all played
Helldivers.
I
don't have. I want to like
fun.
chime in on it. I want to say something about Helldivers, but I don't have a lot to say because I've still only played that one session.
Nolan? You know how he the classic, right? He does.
But Nolan's been playing.
He does a few hours with you knuckleheads, and then he does like 60 the rest of the week.
How am I going to play 60 hours of Helldivers by myself?
When he's playing Balatro. Also, that's true.
You've done that. You play
Also
with Rando, Scotch, whoever, right?
Sure, I have in the past, but this one's a little bit different, just mainly because you need a group to.
Oh my God.
Actually play together.
There is actually a story from last week I do want to say on the show, so let's get started.
Okay, I am recording.
Oh wait, hang last week, Nolan was a trip.
Testing. Yeah.
Turn down my gain a little. Okay.
What's up, everybody in chat?
don't
Where
know
my
how I did
lurkers
it, but
at?
somehow I smashed my finger.
Skibster. Look at Skibster.
Why would you
what
do
does
that?
2023 mean? Is that some like Twitch badge?
From the nail bed, it's been growing out like as a hole in my fingernail.
Ugh.
Yeah. I don't know how I did it. It didn't
Is
hurt
that
or
like
anything.
a-
It's just weird.
Wait, like you can actually like, is it like a hole straight down to like the bed of the nail? It's directly underneath it.
Maybe I can't really tell, or if it's just like
Most damage to that part
like
of
a
the
sub
nail
layer.
leads to like your nail growing weird.
Yeah, that's what my worry is.
Is that like a
Because
thing
it
you
seems
go to the
like out of
dermatologist
nowhere,
for?
there's now a new hole forming at the
What?
base. So I'm worried that for the rest of my life now, like it's just gonna have like
Nolan's got leprosy of the finger, like the
constant
fingernail.
holes
I got
in
a
my
funky
fingernail.
toenail from kicking a rock when I was like younger, in that part of my nail, and it just kind of grows a little funky.
And now you got ugly feet.
Well, I mean, my feet are fucking gorgeous. Besides that, Nick, that just adds.
Speaking of feet, there's been a lot of feet in our Discord lately.
What?
Brad was over here posting
What
all kinds
channel
of.
am I not in?
That's
are
the
y'all
gaming
doing?
channel. Brad was posting lots of feet fan art in
Brad.
the
Well,
gaming
blue
channel.
feet
Blue
specifically.
feet specifically, I guess.
Oh, what got me on that?
So like a lot of Liara feet, probably.
Well, I
I'm
mean, I
guessing.
went down the rabbit hole of blue characters. Because Sonic is like the original blue
Cortana feet.
character, right? But I'm trying to think. It wasn't Sonic. Wasn't the one that.
Whoa.
inspired
Wait. This is perfect podcast material. Let's start.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know
Not
why we're
necessarily.
talking about this right now.
Cortana. It was
It was Cortana. Yeah. Classic blue. Uh-oh.
Okay, literally as I hit
Crispy's.
record, Crispy froze.
He didn't freeze.
Cortana. Yeah, we missed Halo 4 Cortana. Before
So they started
Sweet
giving
Baby
her
got control of the industry and changed Cortana or something.
Halo
Isn't
went
that the
low.
narrative? Uh-oh. Ooh, now
I
there's
restarted my
Crispy.
recording. Let's go.
Well, Crispy's internet
Crispy's
connection is struggling
shaky.
again.
Your internet.
Yeah, this is it. We're
Let's let it settle.
this is
Let It was fine, literally up until the moment when I hit record, and then your camera was like, "Just kidding, psych."
well, it wasn't fine because it kept like the whole
Oh.
time.
Oh, there it goes.
How many torrents does Crispy's roommate run?
I'm not
That's
running
true.
any torrents. I'm not. He doesn't even know how to torrent.
Do people still do that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not know how to torrent? Or know how?
No, just to
Just
torrent
because
in general.
you're such a happy consumer doesn't mean the rest of us like abandon that technology.
What? Way to turn everything I say into.
Well,
Torrenting is like
who the
best
fuck
way to go about
doesn't ever
preservation
fuck
these
with
days.
torrents anymore? That's my question.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't in a very long time.
I mean, I love my 12 streaming services at $20 a month, and now have commercials and.
Especially when they start deleting all the stuff that I subscribed for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. What if there's just a show you really want to watch and you don't feel like subscribing to yet another service?
I
Nick,
mean-
the Fantasy Files podcast is in our YouTube chat, and they say they want to play Helldivers with us.
Oh, that's the podcast that I've been a frequent guest on. They're in chat. Why don't I not see them in chat?
They're in YouTube chat.
Oh, YouTube chat. I'm looking at the wrong chat.
YouTube chat.
No, yeah, I'm down to play Helldivers.
Costs
I
us
just-
$24 a second to stream onto YouTube or
That's-
something. I don't know. We still haven't had that conversation.
No, it's. I can assure you, it's not what you just said. Has everybody tested their audio and shit?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I'm gonna restart. This is getting a little long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
everybody
said
restart.
earlier that anybody who's already
Okay.
recording is going to have to restart. But yes, I did
Alright,
my
go ahead,
sound
Nick.
check before half the people here were even on.
There we go. Now I can see YouTube
You don't
chat.
have Steam open or anything, Crispy, right?
No, why would that matter?
Well, I mean, if you like turn on your PC and maybe your Steam turns on too, it likes
It's
to
not.
go crazy
Listen,
on
it
updates.
is my internet. It's not my
Wait,
computer.
Crispy, you don't have a
struggling.
mouse connected to your computer, do you? Because that'll just ruin everything.
Oh no, don't ever do that.
Oh Jesus Christ.
That's why I use touchscreen.
Don't fucking tech support me, bro. Okay, like I'm on my day off. I don't want to hear it.
Basically, what Crispy's saying is, go to hell, Brad.
Don't offer help.
All right, I am recording, so
No,
everybody,
offer help, but only like,
sincerely.
give me the benefit of the doubt that I'm not like a complete fucking moron when you do it.
There we go.
I mean, you don't have to. I mean, I've made that mistake
He's-
before. I was like, oh, it's because I just booted up Steam and it's going crazy.
No, I mean this is an ongoing issue. The
Yeah,
problem
I
is
agree.
that it doesn't matter what the problem is. Don't
you
worry.
don't have options because
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. We're just
Yeah,
gonna
it's an option select. Exactly.
Nope.
Here's the deal.
That's not it.
It's an option select.
Here's
What's
the deal.
Nick?
We're gonna push through it, Crispy. If you realize that your internet has dipped, just mute your microphone or something until you know it's back up.
Seems like
And
it's
then
going
don't-
okay right now.
And don't stop the recording. Is everybody recording?
Yes,
Yes.
have been.
All right.
Continue to.
That roll call starts now. Then, Brad Simons.
Shibbity boobity bobbity. Is that long
That'll
enough
work.
for
That'll
you?
fucking
All
work.
right.
Nolan Hedstrom.
Hey, I'm Nolan, and I like to play video games like Helldivers and Balatro.
Crispy.
Hello.
And Chris Davis.
I too like video games and talking about them.
You know, I just realized I did that sound check and I did it totally like I was actually introducing you for the podcast, and now I have to do the awkward thing of doing that over again. So
It's only awkward if you make it awkward, Nick.
which I
Yeah.
just did. So
Why making it awkward, bro?
anyways, hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast, episode 787. It's March 19th, 2024. I'm your host, Nick Henderson, joined, as always, by Brad Simons.
What's up? Woo woo woo!
Nolan Hedstrom.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Christopher Guthridge.
Hello.
And Christopher Davis.
Good evening.
And welcome back to 4Player Podcast. We didn't do a show last week, but we had a good time. Those of us who showed up we had a good time playing Helldivers 2 together. And let me tell you, that was a trip. I don't know. I enjoyed my time with that game immensely. And Nolan, that last moment of our last game together last week was kind of incredible. There was Nolan randomly gets booted from the game at some point and gets
pretty early into the run.
Yeah, so like the entire run, he's trying to reconnect to our squad, and it just won't let him. And it's not an internet issue; it seems like a server issue. It just won't let him back in. And then we go to what do you call it when you extract from the mission, and all of a sudden it lets him reconnect, and the counter has like 30 seconds left on it, so it drops him onto the map, and we're all screaming, panicking, like get on the plane, get on the plane, or whatever, and it drops him. He lands like 20 feet from the back of the plane, gets out of the thing, and just runs into the shit and gets carried away.
Successful mission.
Mission. Also, somehow in the like the 20 feet he ran from the drop pod to the plane, he fired a bullet and it hit either me or Chris Davis or something. It would hit me. And so when we got the stats play at the end of the game, he had 100% accuracy, which I thought was pretty phenomenal. So it was, even though not the typical kind of emergent gameplay experience you normally hear about people describing Helldivers 2, certainly one for it's going to be a memorable one for us. That was pretty great. It was like 30 minutes of frustration, and then I could hear Nolan's mood immediately change when he realized the miracle that was occurring on the stream. So very cool moment. Anyways, I just wanted to tell that story live on the show.
Helldivers just keeps getting better, man.
That game is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, They're really starting to tease a new enemy for the bugs. They're teasing the return of a faction from the first game. Dude, this game is so good. So fucking good.
Very, very cool. And I'm still kind of like hopeful that I can get back in and play a few matches here and there. My problem is I'm so laser focused trying to finish Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and or Persona 3 prior to Dragon's Dogma 2, which just probably ain't gonna happen at this point, that I haven't dived back into it, if you know what I mean.
Unless you have a time machine, it ain't happening.
Yeah, I know. It's a cruel world. But hey, what are you gonna do? Anyways, I don't know what the plan is tonight, guys. We're gonna talk about video games and such. I know we're gonna talk about more Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Nolan is balls deep in Balatro, and I'm sure Brad's been playing a fair amount of that as well. And yes. And Unicorn Overlord, which somebody on our Twitter account claimed they didn't realize that was a real game and not some kind of weird like free-to-play mobile thing because of the title.
Yeah,
which I thought was pretty funny.
I don't have anything against unicorns, but that is a weird title for what it is.
It is kind of. Does the unicorn thing have any specific significance to like the game?
I hope so.
I'm over 25 hours in now, and I have no fucking clue.
You've never seen a unicorn?
Well,
nobody has even spoken the word unicorn.
My demo time to this.
You don't play as a unicorn.
35 hours, I think.
You don't like ride a unicorn into battle. You're not fighting like an empire of unicorns.
No, I think maybe the unicorn is a reference to like the rarity. Maybe
is there even like an overlord?
You know what? I actually have no idea. I have no idea.
A bad title.
I mean, let's be real. Brad is the.
Maybe I think it may be just like the crest of the arms, the
sigil.
Sterling Sky in chat
has a unicorn.
Okay, Sterling Sky in chat says the unicorn is the kingdom, and you have a ring of the unicorn, or something like.
He's just saying the words unicorn.
But
like that. It's got to have some other meaning for it to be the fucking name of the game. Like what?
Overlord.
I don't want to hear from Sky because he's the only other fucking person on the planet playing this game, apparently, besides me. And I'm tired of him being like, hey, man, this game's awesome. I'm like, yeah, this game's awesome. Who's all playing it? And he's like, me. I just said it's awesome. And I'm like, I know. You're like the only other person playing it. I need other people to tell me it's awesome too.
Hey, man, I'm going to go talk to some other people.
Well, I mean, I know. I'm just saying, like, I want more people to experience this, and damn it, it's cool.
Well, maybe you'll successfully convince somebody when you talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, maybe
tonight.
I bought the game. I want to play it, but I'm not playing it right now. I can't. I can't do it.
Remember, you lose a point every time you say you bought a game.
Is it
without having played it?
A vanillaware game?
It is a vanillaware game, yes. Okay. Which is like the main reason I want to play it, even though to this day.
I forgot you're a big vanillaware fan.
No. To this day, I have only played one vanillaware game. So I don't really know why.
The one with big titties?
No, I played Muramasa the Demon Blade specifically.
Yeah, there's plenty of big titties in that as well.
You didn't even play the big booby sorcerer one?
No. I kind of wanted to, maybe admittedly because of the big titties, but I haven't.
They all have big titties. What are you talking about? They all have big titties.
What big titties are you talking about in Muramasa the Demon Blade? I can't think
there's
of
other
any
characters besides the one you play as, but some of them have big titties.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Look it up, dude.
Somebody send me pictures of big titties in Muramasa, and not like.
Oh God, no!
He wants Muramasa hentai. Muramasa hentai.
It has to be a real screenshot of the video game.
Oh
God. It has to be a real screenshot of the video game. That's the rule.
Nick, what have you done? Nick, what have you done?
I'm just saying.
It's okay to forget. It's okay that you forget.
It only counts if it's a real screenshot from the video game. Anyways,
just look up the Amazon from, was it Dragon's Crown? And there you go.
No, dude, I know exactly who you're talking about.
I'm saying they
that's-
all have big titties, even Unicorn Overlord.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I'm
Literally
sold.
the staple of this dude's art.
Art style is big titties. I thought it was just like
Yeah, look at that. I'm looking at a big titted
His-
fox lady.
His
They're huge.
oeuvre revolves
fucking
around.
enormous.
is Prince is posting links. Let's see.
no.
Oh, yep. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Kongiku, the wise fox, has
Ben stood
has
corrected.
big titties.
Yeah,
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Anyways, y'all want to talk Fancy Critic for a few minutes? It's been a couple weeks since we had a chance to.
Oh my god, there's a figurine of or a statue?
Okay, focus, Brad. Focus. You can look at
I'm-
big titties
I'm listening.
later.
I'm listening. What's
It
up?
has real action grip, Brad. If you catch my drift.
They got a statue of the fox lady. Okay. What?
Is this some furry shit?
No.
I mean,
no.
it's literally just. I mean, no, God, no.
Brad,
It
Fancy
would have to
critic
be,
things
There would have to
happened.
be fur all over the body, and it would have to be poorly drawn art. I'm sorry. That's we're recalling
mean.
like a past conversation. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was another thing that the conversation that kind of started off the podcast before we
Yeah,
started
let's just
recording.
move
But
Let's just move on.
Brad, you don't want to talk about feet?
No.
Blue feet? No? Well, let me just tell you, if you want to talk about things like blue feet or big titty anime characters, maybe consider joining our Discord at discord.gg/4player.
Oh, okay.
Just saying. Just saying. You can find the link in chat. You can find the link on 4playernetwork.com. Yeah,
I
check it
really
out.
wasn't certain where you were going with that, Nick.
I really wasn't either until I got there. But that's just the way I have to roll sometimes. Okay, Fancy Critic. It's like I said, it's been 2 weeks since we recorded. Has anything happened? I feel like some things have happened.
There have been some
Right.
Someone picked up a
bits,
game.
pickups.
Oh, Chris Davis picked up. He's just so hungry for games. He picked up another one.
God, you have one slot left, don't you?
Yeah,
You motherfucker.
which means I can
He
spend
picked
big
up
on
that
it.
Capcom Kunitsugami.
Yep,
Is he the only one who tried for that one?
Yes.
probably.
pretty
I
sure.
believe so, yeah.
Wait,
I'll
what?
agree.
I mean,
Which
it
game was
looks
this?
cool. Like the last showing of it looked really cool.
Oh, is this that Onimusha looking game?
Yes.
It ain't Onimusha looking, but
I mean, not anymore.
I know what you're talking about.
The first time that they showed it, we thought this was like an Onimusha game, but now
Yeah.
that they've shown
That's
like
the
what it
narrative
is,
of this game that I guess no one's gonna buy.
well,
but
I'm just trying to confirm this is the game. I'm thinking
It's
of
like
the correct game.
it's like a cool like tower defense game is what it looks
Yeah,
like.
I didn't see that coming at all.
Well, one of the reasons I didn't buy it, bid on it, is because I think it's cool looking and I think it might score okay, but I'm not like, I don't think this is like some big AAA thing or anything. Like the director is the director of that like side-scrolling underwater Metroidvania that Capcom put out like half a decade ago.
Hydrophobia?
Okay,
no.
listen to what I said.
No, that's
Oh,
not
wait, you're right.
hydrophobia.
That's not Hydrophobia. What game were you-
Side-scrolling underwater Metroidvania put out by Capcom. Like
I'm gonna be
literally
honest.
an indie looking game from like half a decade ago. It's called like, it starts with a SH maybe.
Hydrophobia?
Pulling it out of my ass. I know Chai Tai liked it. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm saying,
Somebody
and
in
when I
chat has
kind
to
of put
know.
it into that perspective, I feel like Kunitsugami is actually just like a really cool looking indie game. Like it's like a tower defense game. I don't think you're going to like a world and there's like a crazy story. I think you're playing like a really cool, fancy looking tower defense game, which makes sense that it was the director of like a fucking Capcom developed indie game, which is cool. Like I want to
Oh,
see
I mean,
more like that.
I'm down. I mean, I just don't know if I'm willing to take the risk on it
I don't know
for
what
points. You know what I mean?
Shikamaru.
But hey, Capcom, we're in like the golden era of Capcom. I feel like so.
Well,
Maybe that's arguable, but I feel like they're definitely they're going strong right now. So I don't know if it's I don't think I would usually bet against Capcom at the moment, but they you know.
did anyone
we'll
say
see.
the name of this game yet?
Nope.
I got it. Shin Sakai Into the Depths.
Okay, yeah, I
Obviously.
still have
Do
have
not
no idea
recall
what
that.
game that is.
You might remember, but you probably didn't realize it was Capcom. I mean, if you
Probably
saw
not.
it, I'm sorry if you saw like footage of it. Or
I can't even spell it. Somebody post a link in chat. I'll click it.
Also, other than that, like nothing much else has happened
that affects our league specifically. Yeah.
Our league specifically. Although I don't think we mentioned it the last time we talked about Fantasy Critic, but Brad picked up Satisfactory for a bid of $19.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Which I guess Chris Davis wanted to call out how much I spent on it because
no, I was just calling out that was the last pickup.
But it was after I lost Balatro, and I was like, you know what, motherfucker, I'm definitely going to get these games. And plus, I mean, like probably many of us, I'm pretty committed to using my Super Drop because I feel like it'd be dumb not to.
I was thinking about it.
Well, you're gonna need it because that game fucking sucks.
Just to make sure I understand, and I'm sorry if this is repeating something I've already asked, but just so I make it perfectly clear that I understand this correctly, by super dropping a counter pick, it means the most I can lose is 7 points on that particular game.
On a counter pick.
Oh, on that slot, right?
It's like you spent money to.
If I feel like I'm going to lose more than 7 points on a counter pick, it's best using the super drop would make sense, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, it doesn't even have to be used on a counter pick, but yeah,
no,
I mean, the idea
I'm specifically asking it in reference to using it on a counter pick. If I think I'm going to lose more than 7 points, using a super drop would make sense for a counter pick. Okay,
for sure.
Just wanted,
but like,
just making sure.
I feel like it would have to be like, not just a little more than 7 points.
Right. I mean, I'm not gonna if I think I'm gonna get an 8, I'm not gonna use it, so I can save myself.
Yeah, because I mean,
point.
if a game you have on your list comes out and it's like, Rise of the Ronin or something comes out and it's a 72, that he gained 2 points on that, which is better than losing 7 points. But at the same time, that frees up a space that he could draft something that's an 85. It's using it on something that having the knowledge of. I mean,
the problem is you have to make the decision.
Game can already be released. I mean, that's
right.
the power of a super drop.
The problem is you have to make the decision before July 1st, and in my case, both of my counter picks, unless I'm forgetting one, I think both my counter picks are coming out later in the year, so I have to kind of make a judgment call.
All of my games come out later in the year, if at all. Like my list this year is very if it pays off, I'm not gonna know for a very long time. And I've already got fucked on 3D Mario because of this whole Switch 2 delay, so that's frustrating. Yeah. So we'll see.
So tomorrow is actually a big day just in general. I guess it'd probably be a big day for any league, Fantasy Critic League, because reviews for 3 games, big games are dropping tomorrow. Dragon's Dogma 2. So we're gonna find out just how much Nolan's gonna be winning.
Yeah,
with that game here. That'll be a dub. That'll be a dub for Nolan. Rise of the Ronin, which there's been a lot of talk about that. Yeah. In terms of which direction that's going to go. Is that Thursday?
That's Thursday.
Okay, so I might have to wait an extra day on that one, but whatever. In the next 2 days, next 48 hours, it'll be a big kind of a big 2 days for Fantasy Critic. And then of course Princess Peach Showtime I think is tomorrow as well.
I'll say real quick, Dragon's Dogma 2 based on preview coverage, but also trust in Itsuno, knowledge of Dragon's Dogma. I think that's an easy 85 plus in my opinion, which is a big glow up after that first game, but I still believe I think Ronin is going to be around. I think it's that's a 75 minus based on previews, which were some quite negative. And I feel like when a preview cycle is negative, that's usually a bad sign for an upcoming game. And Princess Peach, I would say, I did not like that demo. But it is a game for children, and I get it. But at the same time,
Brad hates children.
Games for children. I think really 82. What it is.
82.
I think if it gets an 82, you should be very pleased because that
82, buddy.
They could just play fucking Kirby. This shit was whack. I don't know. The truth is, I'm a little bitter about Princess Peach because I'm sure it's gonna sell really well. And it's just a Puppeteer knockoff. They fucking totally cribbed off of
Nobody played Puppeteer.
Exactly.
No one's gonna see it that way.
Wait a
Puppeteer's
second.
awesome, and you know what? It has fucking voice acting in it. Great
You're a
voice acting.
bitter old
Princess
man who's
Peach
played too
is
many games.
Super Princess Peach is an ugly, cheap puppeteer knockoff with no voice acting. I mean, come on, Nintendo. Peach, the character, deserves better than this shit. I think it's going to be more like a 75 minus as well. I mean, I don't know. It'll probably be fine. It'll probably be like an 80 because people are like, oh, there's so much charm. What's puppeteer? Like, fuck those critics.
Brad is really letting his puppeteer love
It was just
poison the
lame.
well.
The demo was lame. I mean, the demo was lame. That's all.
I mean, I do think it's whack that a game of that genre, which is clearly made for a younger audience. Not saying it's bad, but I feel like not having voice acting when it's skewing towards younger audiences is kind of insane.
Hate this shit, dude.
Kind of insane.
No, I keep telling Henry, like, man, you better fucking pay attention better in school, man, because I ain't voice acting this shit much longer. You're gonna be left
behind by Princess Peach.
Well, I mean, I'm asking him. I'm like, don't you want to know what's happening? Don't you want to be able to read and know the bullshit that's on screen? And he's like, eh.
Please tell me. Please tell me you frame the question exactly like that too.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they fucking learning in kindergarten anymore? Like, right? Well, isn't that what you learn in kindergarten? How to read? What the fuck? I feel like in a fucking.
I think that's like first grade.
Texas education.
I think in kindergarten they do like nap time and colors and shapes.
Oh man, I miss kindergarten.
No, they don't do nap time.
They don't do nap time in kindergarten?
No, yeah, they did. Daycare shit, dude. That's daycare.
Dude, we did nap time in kindergarten.
Definitely did nap time in kindergarten.
I don't know what fancy private schools y'all went to, but there ain't no nap time.
Florida public schools, baby. Like
Texas public.
There's no way that Texas public schools are worse.
You go to recess and lunch. You don't take a nap.
We went to recess and lunch and took a nap.
Just because you were in kindergarten in 1956, Brad, doesn't mean that the children today.
Did they still hit you when you were in kindergarten?
You could have actually just said the year I was actually in kindergarten, and people would have been like, "Wow, that was a long time ago." But you adding a little.
It was 1987, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah.
They still had a paddle with like holes in it, right? Called the assistant principal.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my kid's not napping at school.
I
don't think you understand how old a kindergartner is because, like, you're not gonna tell
They're
a
5 years
6 year old to take a nap. 5 and 6. Do. I'm telling you, no way.
Look, Nolan. Look, I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that your son is taking naps at school every day. I'm just saying, when I was in kindergarten, like when I was in the classroom at the elementary school, right next door to the first grade classroom, we took naps after recess. 30-minute nap time after recess.
I am.
She wouldn't know.
Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems gif. I disagree.
Okay. Nolan's over here smiling and shaking his head. I need Nolan to be the tiebreaker here because I 100% agree with Crispy. I remember the room I took naps in, and it was absolutely.
I remember the mats that we would pull out.
Maybe it was pre-K.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't go to pre-K at the elementary school.
Yes, correct. I did not go to pre-K.
I don't know, some fucking daycare. I'm telling you.
I was in kindergarten at the school that you lived right next to when you were in South Austin.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Did you take a nap or not?
I did. I remember taking naps.
God damn it. Nolan's silence is speaking volumes. I need Nolan to speak up now. Nolan, did you nap in kindergarten?
Way, dude. There's no way.
I know you remember.
I did not nap in kindergarten.
No.
I napped in
neither did you, Nick.
Pre-K, before kindergarten, kind of daycare thing with some light studying that we did. But my kindergarten, first off, I will say that my kindergarten, if I recall, was only a half day. It was not a full day.
Oh yeah, what kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah,
and then or was that? It was a few years ago when I was also a dumb kid. But like I don't know if I did pre-K half at the school and the other half at the daycare, or I completely full daycare pre-K and then I don't remember. But I don't actually remember taking naps at my actual school.
The thing is, pre-K is at the school that you go to kindergarten, right? So you might be remembering pre-K.
Not always. Not every
It definitely was not for me.
Yeah,
kindergarten has a
that's not
pre-K.
always true. First of all, second of all, I did go to pre-K at a daycare, like at a pre-K daycare that was not at the school.
Yep.
That's
So
We
did I.
didn't do pre-K. Like they didn't have like whatever a pre-K is now. Like they had a daycare and then they had
I just don't
kindergarten,
understand
first
why I
grade, second
have to
grade, third
trust
grade.
y'all's dusty ass memories when I actually have a kid in kindergarten.
Because
Because it's been 30 years and things are different and that's completely reasonable.
Yeah.
damn, he got you there.
I
He
think
fucking got
that
you.
I think the issue is that you're realizing you got fucking scammed, dude. You got scammed out of a whole year of naps. You're like, hey man, I feel for you, but like seriously, like you got fucking scammed.
All right, I don't even remember how we got on this conversation. Let's bring it back into video games. Somehow, seriously, how the fuck did we even talking about? I don't even know.
Princess Peach is a baby game.
A millennial
Yeah, there we
kindergarten.
go. Princess Peach is a baby game. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a baby game, and it's like just a knockoff of Puppeteer. Puppeteer was brilliant.
was a good
Motherfucking
game.
Sony closing down Japan studio. Just that's just disgusting. Fucking garbage ass industry.
It's a game
Next
that
topic.
deserves a remaster, easily.
It is.
It deserves it. No, it doesn't. It just. It's a studio that deserves to be making cool shit like that, and it doesn't exist anymore. That's what it deserves.
All right. Okay. Calm down. Everybody take a deep breath. Everybody take a nap. And let's.
Dude, I remember my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Kane. There's no way she was making it through the day without a nap time. There's no way that she was gonna deal with those kids all day unless there was a nap time after recess.
Maybe you're thinking
after we
of
got our
snack
blood
time.
up.
Snack time?
Snack time.
I don't understand why like your brain can't comprehend that like maybe I actually remember and am right. Like
You were in Florida. To be fair, you were in Florida.
Dude, I was in Austin, Texas, and I had the same experience.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Also,
okay.
by the way, yeah, I am kind of. I didn't really intend on playing Princess Peach, and I kind of looked up at someone playing the demo. It is very much Puppeteer, and it very much seems like it's super easy.
Damn.
Which
Not just
you
easy,
know,
but
and
kind of boring.
it doesn't make sense to me because they're like, oh yeah, it's Mario, it's a baby game, but like old school Mario was not easy.
Nope.
Like the whole thing, I don't know. Like I don't want to be an old man.
I think we're
at
supposed to
Cloud,
say
but
old
like
men yelling at clouds.
it's one of
yeah.
those things where it's like, maybe maybe kids are just different now, and if it's too difficult, they just give up and go look at TikTok dances, I guess.
that and I mean, sure, that's the cynical view, but
But am I wrong?
it is. We've talked about it before too, where it's like Mario games back then were coming from a tradition where like games were still in that like design mindset of like arcades, right? Where like
Yeah.
you had lives and continues and shit like that, right?
You
So-
needed coins.
Yeah, and not only that, Nintendo used to like sell Nintendo Power magazines with tips and
Sure.
tricks, and like used to have a hint line that you could call. Like they just like it was an artificial inflation to support other parts of their business that like don't exist anymore. So what's the point?
Damn. Shit just got real. That's sad.
But like, so I'm watching this guy play it, and apparently like it does it like play itself almost.
No.
Like he's fighting a boss, and all he's doing is pressing the jump button, and she's attacking and jumping and dodging.
There's a lot of like auto pairing and stuff. I mean,
Well, like literally,
you,
like
like,
I'm watching the demo, and this guy happens to have his camera on, and he literally is showing him just pressing the button, and like Peach is like attacking and dodging and like hitting the boss. Like
that leads me to believe
that's the
this is
thing.
going to be a common point throughout
there's lots of
reviews.
easy Nintendo games, right? Just get a fucking Kirby game, like that fucking 3D Kirby game that came out last year or whatever, the year
where he
before.
sucks off cars.
shit-
That one.
That shit is easy as hell, but that shit was wild. Like that, there's so much going on in that game for a child. This shit is just kind of like
it's just whack puppeteer. I don't know. We'll see. But it's gonna get that Nintendo bump. So I'm sure fantasy critic wise will be fine. I'm just saying, like, for me personally, I played that demo and I was like, Henry, he played it too. And I was like, come on, dude, you could do better. This
And
shit's
Henry
bad.
was like, Dad, this is a baby game.
Well, that's the thing, like Mario Odyssey is a great game for a kid to fuck around with. They're not going to get all the moons, but like they're big open stages. They can go around. They get moons for doing all kinds of shit. And like putting Princess Peach up against this, like it's embarrassing. They should. Princess Peach deserves better. You know, this is from the studio that made those
Should have been a Daisy game.
middling 3D Yoshi games in recent years or whatever. Like,
So what you're saying is we maybe shouldn't be too surprised by this. Okay. For a show where we were not going to talk about Princess Peach, we sure have talked a lot about Princess Peach. So with that, why don't we revisit Balatro first?
Okay.
Because I know Nolan's been going hard on Balatro.
Deep and hard.
Correct.
Ditto. Yeah.
And Brad. But we haven't really heard from Nolan since he actually started playing it. What's up, Nolan?
Man, I have a love-hate relationship with Balatro. I love when it's going well, and I hate when it's not.
It feels bad. Losing a run feels awful.
Yeah, it truly is like a luck of the draw, or the cards. It is so infuriating when you get like, you do your first blind, and then you get to the second one, or like after you finish your first blind, the shop has like a negative joker for $1 more than you have, and you why man? I can't make money yet. Like I literally did I played my first blind with a single hand optimal money, and I just don't. Why are you gonna give me this shit? And then literally the rest of the run, not a single negative joker in the shop. Like what the fuck? Like I know it's RNG, but it can be very frustrating.
Yeah,
What's
are
up?
you skipping blinds to get that negative joker? Because sometimes
I'm telling you that it's happened on the first shop.
Man, as someone who doesn't know how
like
to play poker, this
without a
sounds
blind
like
skip.
gobbledygook.
You didn't
Yes.
force it. You didn't force
Yes.
it. Yeah, I mean it's just a small RNG chance.
I know, but it's frustrating. But like I said, it's frustrating when like there's literally nothing I can do. I can't sell my soul. Maybe if I had gotten lucky and there was a debit card or whatever, the credit card in the shop at the same time, yeah, but it never works out that way.
You know what really sucks?
Don't get me wrong. I know, like
getting
what's up?
Getting into a shop and you're like, I kind of want to buy that joker, I guess maybe, but let's crack open this spectral pack first to see kind of what I get, and maybe it'll help me decide what joker I want. And you get the Ankh, the one that like destroys all other jokers but makes one of them polychrome, and you're like, if I just bought that fucking joker first, I'd have a polychrome joker with no downside.
Real quick, because this is just one of those games where I know we've talked about it before, but if someone didn't listen to that podcast, this does not like.
All right.
For just a real
quick rundown. Real quick, it's fine. Real quick. I mean, so hold on, Brad. First off, the game just sold 1 million copies, so there's probably a few people out there that are familiar with it.
I'm surprised.
But the very simplistic.
I put 10 hours into this game.
Oh fuck!
The very simplistic version of high level of this game is, yes, it is quote poker in the sense that you are making poker hands to score points or chips to beat levels. That's essentially it. You have a poker hand, you have a blind. In this case, the first blind is you need to make 300 chips. And so you make combination of poker hands and you get points. And there you go. Obviously, the further you go, those points or the chips, the score you need to pass the level goes up and up and up quite high. And so you need to supplement your poker hands with joker cards, which manipulate the scoring. So, for example, you might get a joker card that every time you play a spade, the multiplier is increased by 4. If you look at when you're playing the game, there's a run info button, and if you click on it, it will show you every possible hand combination. For the most part, there's a few it doesn't show in there, and it will show you what you would score if you played it. And so, for example, it might be a flush on the very first time you play it is 30 chips times a 4 multiplier So that's 120 points, right?
Makes
Well,
sense.
you might get something that modifies that multiplier. So instead of being 30 chips times 4, it might be 30 chips times 15 chips. That, or times 15. That's a whole lot more. And so these jokers, there's 120 of them, I think, somewhere around there.
They all do different things.
120 different ways you can manipulate like the cards, the way they play. And so some of them are like, oh, they just give you a base increase in the number of chips you score. Some of them, oh, if you discard this type of card, you'll get some extra money. A huge variety.
Or the vagabond. Do you ever get the vagabond? Where it's like every hand you play where you currently have less than like $3, then you generate a tarot card, which are really powerful. So like it's a really powerful joker, but you basically have to be broke your whole run. But like you can never
accumulate a large amount of money.
Which generating having a good economy is really powerful.
If you pair Vagabond with like a rocket or whatever that one is called, where you are accruing a whole lot of money each hand, then they can play well with each other. So you can always be generating those tarot cards, and neck tarot cards, or like Brad said, they're like the, they have one that like, oh, when you get a tarot card, you can maybe make any random card like a wild, or make it a lucky card, and a lucky card has a chance of either increasing the multi by a whole lot or just giving you straight up cash. Lots of different ways. There's celestial cards, so there's one for each like planet that increases, like I said, that flush as an example, 30 chips times 4 multiplier, it increases it to the next level, which is, I don't know, like I can't remember, like 60 chips times chips, like 5. Like every time you level it up, it goes up. And there are certain cards that I'm a fan of. The burnt card is a great one. Every time, instead of playing a hand, if you discard like a good hand, say you would discard a flush, well, then your flush level goes up by 1. And so there, there's this play of like, you only have, as an example, if you're looking at the footage we're watching right now, you have 4 hands to make as many points as you can. You have 3 discards, meaning you can discard up to 5 cards, each one, so 15 cards to help you try to accrue a better hand. But it's so much luck. And like I said, there are runs that just everything works out and everything is perfect, and you're like zooming and you're scoring, and there are other ones, and it's so disheartening when you have, like, I'm not gonna lie, all of the footage you're gonna watch that I recorded 45 minutes of footage, and the reason I recorded that much was because I think I restart like 4 times because I just kept getting bad runs. And it sucks, but I mean, that being said, it's like any roguelike.
I'll restart after the first.
Oh no, for sure. Like if I feel like things are like, I'm like, I don't even want to waste my time, because is there a chance? Is there a chance I could get that one joker that's going to change everything? Yeah, but there's also a chance that I'm going to get shit and I'm going to lose the next hand anyway. So
or you just can't get out of credit card debt. That's the
true
worst.
Yeah,
they have a joker called that's a credit card that will let you go into the negative by like $20. So you can buy shit from the store, but now you have negative money, and now you start getting like tarot cards that double the amount of money you have, but you're in the negative. So you're like, oh no, I'm just more in the hole. I need to get.
And so every blind goes up by a little bit, and then every round has a boss blind, which generally makes it more difficult. So sometimes it'll be like, hey, every card you've played this ante, it's debuffed. It doesn't score points. It can't be used against your jokers. That one sucks. But there's one that it's like, oh, if you play a flush, it sets your money to 0 unless you're in the negative.
It's like, brutal. If there's one thing I wish that this game did, it's that I wish there's all these different quote unquote boss blinds. I wish there was like just a little like different. They don't have to be jokers. I don't know what they could be, but just something like a visual representation of each of the different bosses, because it's just like a rule. They call it a boss, but it's just a weird rule restriction. And some of them are like, whatever, who gives a shit? 1 in 7 cards is face down. I'll figure it out. And then some of them are just like completely run ending, and it feels bad, right?
So well, here's the thing, Brad, is it to your point, they do feel random, and sometimes you'll go through a run and you'll never get a boss blind that like does anything to you. It's like every time it's like, oh, you can't use spades, and it's like, well, dude, like I've actually been manipulating my deck this whole time, so out of the 60 cards that are in there, I only have like 5 spades, so it doesn't even matter. Or you know, it's like, oh, if you play a flush, sets your money to 0, and it's I'm actually on 4 of a kind this run, so it doesn't matter. But then to your point, there are some times where it's like I'm running a deck that like focuses on hearts, and it's like, oh, hearts are debuffed. And I'm like, well, fuck, now that is a huge fucking like run ender. It's so random, and yeah, it sucks sometimes.
But sometimes your jokers can be so powerful and synergize so well that like they do all the heavy lifting, where you could just play like one card and like beat every round. You know?
So that is the thing, Nick, is synergies. Synergies are what drives this game. That is what lets you win, is finding jokers that complement each other and that also complement your deck. To Brad's point, like he had mentioned Vagabond. Well, Vagabond pairs well with something that earns you a lot of money. That way, if you're trying to use Vagabond, so here's a couple of combinations, just throwing it out there. By no means an expert. I think I have like 30 hours in the game, so I'm like, that actually might be a lie. I have
by no
49 hours. And so
wait, how much?
30 hours. 49 hours.
A lot more than me.
Yeah. So Vagabond, if you play a hand and you have $3 or less in your pool of money, it spawns a tarot card. Very nice. There's another joker that every time you play a tarot card, its multiplier goes up. Or the addition of mult, not a straight multiplier, but you plus X mult. And you pair that with like Rocket or something that earns you a bunch of money after a round. All of a sudden, those are going well together. There are cards that it's like, the pants, like the whatever those pants are, that they increase the value of 2 pair. So whenever you play 2 pair, which seems like it doesn't get you a lot of money, but if you combine that, 2 pair is a very easy hand to get. It's very easy to find 2 7s and 2 5s or whatever. That's a very easy one. If you pair that with the multiplier that every time you like play a pair, it goes up, with the burned card, which it's easy to get 2 pair, so it's easy to discard it as well. All of a sudden your mults are going up. You're getting increased levels. Like things just like flow. But once
that's
again,
the sauce. That's
the sauce, but that also depends on how things go. Like I was saying earlier to Brad, sometimes you'll get to a store and there's a card you really need, but you don't have the money. And it's
just the roguelike life, really.
It is. And so, there was a while that I was just like flush pilled. I was like every time I ran, I'm like, I'm just going straight flushes. If I can't get a flush, I'm going to discard it, because flushes it scores a decent amount.
But it doesn't synergize with some of the really powerful stuff all that well.
Yeah,
it always feels like there's a ceiling to like a flush.
It is funny. I know, like obviously, I'm not gonna have time really for Balatro, but it is an interesting thing, and I feel like in my brain, I'm making connections. I'm making connections to Queen's Blood, because that's what I'm playing a bunch of Queen's Blood, and it's not the same thing, but that is also a game about synergizing cards together and like building decks and stuff. So, and also you gotta remember, like I don't know how to play poker, even though I've been taught times.
So that's the nice thing about this game, is you don't technically have to know how. It's not technically poker. You have to know how to make hands, and like I said, if you click that run info button, it explains every hand, how it works. If you click on the deck on the bottom right, it will show you every card that you have. It will show you the number that are left, which can be frustrating, because I think honestly, it might have been earlier in this run. I was like, all I need is a 10. All I need is a 10, and I can make this. I think it was like a straight flush, right? That's all I needed. I had 3 10s in the deck. I discarded 8 cards, not a single 10. Like, it's just like everything else was already super low. Like the odds of me not getting that 10 were pretty fucking low, but I didn't get it, and that's how RNG works. But the thing is, I still have not gotten to the clips I've seen online. You can get to the point where people are doing like exponential things, to the point where like the number they're scoring in this case is not, I have 1120 points. Like they have to put ease in the number, as if you're, I forget what the term for that is.
What the fuck?
When you're having to adjust the period, because the numbers are getting so large, that you cannot be expressed across the screen. And so there are people not even getting billions. There are people getting like trillions, like they're like insane numbers. But that's because every time you go up, that next it starts going exponentially higher. So the final score, the final hand or round in the game is 100,000 points. Like that's honestly not that much. But then that's ante 8. When you get to, I want to say ante 11, it's like 7.2 million.
That's insane.
From two rounds later, from 100,000 to 7.2 million. Like it goes up so quick, and at that, you almost immediately know when you win if you can go. You're like immediately you're like, hey, I know I'm not going to be able to scale. I can go the next like ante 9. Maybe I'll find the Joker I've been looking for, but you probably won't. Ante 13 is 100 million.
That's
like
Damn.
yeah, it gets insane.
I mean, is endless actually endless, or does it?
Probably not. I don't know what the furthest someone's gotten is, mainly just because I've never even gotten close. I don't know what my high score is. I can probably look it up real quick.
Endless
it's not that high.
That's funny. Endless is so extreme that it stops, and it's called.
Well, yeah, because it's exponential. Like it gets to a point where even though it's quote endless, you can't keep going. Just because that's not a thing. How do you see your?
You got infinite score. That's impossible.
Profile.
You can't create loops. I don't think.
Winged got infinite score. Apparently,
possible.
So this game continues. Impossible. This game is still for those who are curious. I know it's this as of right now, as it stands right now. Obviously, it's only March. Balatro is one of the highest reviewed games of the year, outside of maybe Rebirth, possibly.
It's going to be a game of the year contender, I think, in a lot of circles.
I mean, this is going to come up on a lot of lists at the end of the year. I mean,
it's very early in the year, and I know people really love it, but like I think by the end of the year, people will have gotten really sick of this game and like mad at it. Probably. I don't know. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and we do need to move on. But Balatro, like, sold 1 million copies. Here's $1 million idea: sell packs of Joker cards. Oh my god, I would buy so many with the chance of some being foil or hologram, polychrome.
Brad would unabashedly buy
so bad because the actual like Joker design, the card design, they're fucking awesome. They're so cool, and like the effects, the foil effect and stuff, like it's so cool. I want them so bad.
Would you buy
physical cards if they sold it?
Yes, actual packs of Joker cards. There's 150 Jokers or whatever, like how
glass cards.
Glass cards, you would know though, right? Yeah, because you can make glass cards that have a 1 in 4 chance.
You can make glass cards. You can make like stone cards. You can make gold cards, steel cards.
They could have the little seals as like the bubble gum in the pack. Like a little red seal gum. Oh man!
So if I'm reading this correctly, Nick, I just kind of looked it up. Like I said, the farthest I've ever gotten is ante 11 or 12. I can't remember which. Ante 16.
Pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I think ante 11. I think I've got. How do you see your? Does anybody know how I can see my high score in this game? Ante 16 is 860 quintillion. Is the score you have to beat on ante 16? It's a lot.
That's stupid.
But yeah,
I mean, when things are multiplying exponentially, I mean, you get there.
Like, this is the Vampire Survivors of card games. Like,
I found it. So yeah, my highest ante is 12. My highest round is 34. My best hand was 77 million. Was the hand. The most played hand I have is a flush. I've played 1,200 of them.
Really? See, like, I feel like I only play 2 pairs. And that's what I was asking about that in the Discord, where it's like, I don't even understand how you, like, do I not get poker? Like, do I not understand?
I mean, you might be in my boat.
I don't know. Like, This game makes me feel like fucking Phil Hellmuth, where I'm just like getting pissed off at the nature of the game, even though I'm playing it. You know, like.
So here's
Phil
the good
Hellmuth's a
news.
famous poker player, by the way.
Here's the good news for you, Crispy, is that this is starting a whole new trend of like imitators of these of Balatro. There's a game that came out in early access yesterday actually called Bingle Bingle. It's basically the same exact concept, but it's roulette.
How does that work?
I don't know, but evidently it's getting a good praise so far.
Roulette,
we'll see.
But
all that being said, Crispy, to your point of playing 2 pairs, I think it's so. First off, here's my thing. And if you, how many hours you said you were in 10?
Yeah, 9 hours.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So like any roguelike, you have to keep going to unlock jokers that will definitely change how you play and or unlock new vouchers,
new decks.
And new decks.
How
So
do you
have to
unlock
beat
the vouchers, by the way?
Buying the vouchers. So when you buy a voucher in the store, it will add to the pool of vouchers the next thing in its line. So like the first one is like a 20% discount in the store, 10% discount, whatever it is in the store. Once you buy that, it gets added to the pool that then will maybe show up later. See, it's still a maybe. That's similar to like what is that banana card?
And you get like the super banana.
Well, yeah. So like Nick, there's a card that's like a banana, and what it does is it times your multiplier by 15. Pretty good.
As 15.
But yeah, thank you, Michael Gross. Is the banana card. But there's a 1 in 4 chance every round, and when the round ends, that the banana gets destroyed. 1 in 4 seems pretty high, unless you're trying to use a Wheel of Fortune, or a fair whatever that card is. So
Wheel of
no,
Fortune
that
is
is
like
that.
1 in 300.
Wall Carl and Chad has a good point. It's like video games be secretly making us into gamblers, and that's what we sound like right now.
I mean, really.
That's
There's
what
no
European lawmakers have been saying for years.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I mean,
so
like mobile games.
Going
do
back
that,
to it,
not
Nick.
this game.
Going back to it. It gets destroyed, right? So it's gone. But then the Cavendish gets added to the pool of jokers, and the Cavendish is another card that is similar to the banana. But hold on, I want to get the exact stats.
We're at an hour, and we've only talked about.
I mean, that's whatever. It's fine. Hold on. So what the Cavendish does is it adds a multiplier. Why is it so hard, dude? Balatro Wiki, stop being dumb, man. So it's a ×3 multiplier. So the Michael Gross is a plus 15. So it adds 15 to whatever your current multiplier is. This multiplies whatever it is by 3. So generally, probably a better thing. But it can destroy itself, but it's a 1 in 1,000 chance. So way less likely. I've never gotten the Cavendish and had it been destroyed. Obviously, it's still odds and still numbers, so it still can. But man, it's crazy. And to Zlade's point, does counting cards work in this game? I mean, yes and no. The only way counting works is in relevance to if you're trying to go for a certain hand and you know what's in your deck, but it's not really counting. I mean, it's all in front of you. So and so the point of Crispy, and I know you said it tongue in cheek. There's no gambling here. This is not going to make you better at poker. This is not going to make you better at gambling.
I was really more
it literally is just a roguelike game where the attacks and abilities are based on numbers and patterns. That's all
Papa
it really is.
In chat says you can change a couple terms in this game.
Loot boxes will make you into a gambler.
Yeah.
Would you agree with Papa Shot? And he says you change a couple terms in this game and it literally becomes Slay the Spire.
Well,
I mean, not far off.
It's a roguelike deck builder, yes.
I asked that knowing almost nothing about Slay the Spire outside of what we talked about whatever year that was.
To Brad's point, Nick, and what also Crispy brought up earlier is having like gold cards and lucky cards and molt cards and seals. It is a deck builder in the sense that if you just start with first off the default deck, it's a 52 deck of cards. Was that 13 of each suit? Ace through 2 or whatever. But you can build this. So first off, other decks start differently. There's decks that have no face cards. There are decks. There's the checkered deck, which is just spades and hearts. There's no clubs or diamonds. You can get new cards just from the shop, which add cards, or you could subtract cards. There are some cards. There are some times where it's like, hey, I don't want my deck to be 52. I want to remove as many things as I can from my deck because that increases the chances that I'm going to get the cards I need. Or I just want to pump those numbers up because there are jokers that are affected by the number of cards in your deck. It really is a deck builder, like through and through.
So you get away from the standard deck pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the hell of a game that I'm not.
It definitely is. It's one of those things where I like I said, the reason I didn't want to play it was because I knew I was going to sink 50 hours into it.
You know yourself.
I've played Yakuza once since I picked this up. And that's sad because I fucking loved Yakuza and I want to finish it and I'm still planning on it.
This game should be on a phone. Come on.
I'm actually kind of surprised
it's coming out on phone, Brad.
I'm sure it is, but I'm saying
you want to talk about sales on this game when it hits phones. It's going to be fucking insane. I am sure. All right.
I also didn't realize, and sorry to just do real quick, Nick. In the if you go to options and stats and card stats, it will show you the number of times you've had the top. It looks like top 10 maybe jokers, your top 10 consumables, top 10 tarot cards. Planet, spectral, and vouchers. It doesn't tell you that. I'm not at least seeing the number of times I've chosen each individual deck. Like if I have a deck win over another, but that's some pretty good stats. My number one card is the Supernova, which it adds the number of times you've played a poker hand to your multiplier. It's pretty useful.
Damn.
Yeah,
especially if you're playing like high card.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay,
but that's all I'll say.
I'll say this, Crispy, real quick. If you want to get off the two, I mean, the thing about two pair is like if you're playing two pair, just play a pair, and if you're playing a pair, just play a high card. You know what I mean? Like you know,
that depends on your jokers, Brad. That's that is a very high stakes thing to do. To go even two pair is risky unless you get the right jokers, because while it will be useful the first few, like the first ante or two, if you don't have the right jokers, you can easily get screwed over.
Yeah, well, you know, what can you do?
All right. Switch gears. Here's a question. Do we want to take a break and then come back?
Supernova's my highest as well. I think it's because it's the most hands played with a joker, and when you have Supernova, you're trying to play as many hands as possible.
How do you check that?
That's true.
Nick, if you want to start fading out,
hold on. Nick, yes, I agree. Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
You were going to say after that, Nick.
As we keep nerding out about Balatro, we'll be right back. Fading out, fading out, fading out.
We got to get it out of our system.
The Hermit is my highest.
All right, stopped.
Tarot card.
Crispy, hold on. I'm pulling it up again. So you go to options. You go to stats and then card stats on the bottom right.
What is this number?
787.
Yep.
Joker.
I'll be right back.
Brad, that's not the number of times you use it. It says the total completed rounds with this card. It doesn't necessarily say it's been activated.
Hands? It's got to be hands.
What number? Like what you guys were looking at? What jokers you'd use the most?
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
apparently mine is
most
greedy
hands.
Joker.
Because I don't pick Supernova that often, but when I do, I'm trying to play like as many hands around as possible.
Supernova. What the fuck is Supernova?
You probably haven't unlocked it yet.
So the other nice thing that we didn't talk about that I like about this game is when you're sitting on the start screen, there's just like an ace sitting there, but every once in a while it'll fade away and it'll turn into a locked. What's up?
No. Continue your thought. What are you saying?
It'll turn into a locked card, and sometimes it will tell you how to unlock that card.
What the fuck up? I was gonna ask. There wasn't a space in the conversation to ask. But I was gonna ask if that ace card on the screen bugged you guys, because like I hate that it's like interactable, but like it feels like oh, I bet if I move this ace somewhere, it'll like turn into something or like become or like unlock something, and I couldn't figure it out. And it's like every time I open the game, I sit I'm like poking at that ace, going like, what is this? What does it do? Why is it like this? I had no idea that it does that, which is...
Yeah, if you let it just sit there for a second, it'll disappear and it'll turn into a locked one. So, the example, here's a locked one I have $400 or more. and then that will unlock whatever that card is.
$400.
The most I've ever had apparently is 240.
What? $200? How? The most money I've ever had is $19.
Well, so once again, Crispy,
I've ever played is 28,000.
Similarly to how points are scored in this game, it's exponential. The more you play, you start unlocking things, which helps you to get scores higher, which helps you to find those like synergies and stuff like that. I promise you, when I was at 10 hours, I was probably in the same place. And I know it's one of those things where, you know, as soon as you start unlocking other decks as well, like have you unlocked anything past the red, blue, and black? Are those the starting ones?
Red, blue, green, and
green, right? Yeah, red, blue, green.
They start to get pretty crazy.
Yeah, so as soon as you start unlocking those other decks, Crispy, that's where it also starts to help out a lot. Like as soon as you get the checkered deck, man, like it's very easy to unlock the Joker or to unlock other certain Jokers because you only have those two suits. Ranks up cards, changes you do runs. Ranks. Which one is that one? Gold Seal and gold cards are definitely... Yeah, so that is another good point, Crispy. Gold Seal and gold cards are good. There's a Joker, I don't know if you have it or not, that if you play a gold card, it still gives you the money for playing it instead of just having held it in your hand. So that's another good one. The Wheel Tarot. Dude, so King Carry... that is my number one tarot card because I take it every time, and I swear to God, that is not 1 in 4. It is fucking 1 in like 500. Because holy shit, the number of times it doesn't hit is infuriating.
You're making questionable choices over there, Nolan. If you're taking that one,
I know, and every fucking time I tell myself, "Don't do it, you're dumb," and then I click it anyway, and you know what it says? Nope.
I feel like the Wheel of that. I feel like that's the only real gambling in Balatro is people get addicted to the wheel.
Hold on. Let me pull it up again real quick to look at my stats. So for the tarots.
Oh, full house, queens and kings.
Nice. It says tarots. I've used Wheel of Fortune 133, Emperor 113, then the Fool 93. Empress 87, 84, 84, and 87. So it's just like my number one is almost double my number 4, 5, 6. And that's Wheel of Fortune. And holy shit, I wish it told you the number of times it has hit. And
really your number one? How is it not Hermit or something like that? That's crazy.
Because I take it every fucking time because I'm an idiot.
That's crazy.
And like I said, it definitely is not. What was it? What did I say? It was 140 something, whatever it was. It has not hit 35 times. Is that
Death
whatever?
Is good.
Like 40 something times. Death is pretty good.
Oh man!
And yeah, Mr. Papa Shot chasing that dragon because when it hits, it's so fucking good. When you use a Wheel of Fortune and it puts polychrome. But the worst is when it puts polychrome on a temporary Joker like the fucking popcorn, and you're like, no. That is the worst.
Bodeman, that is a dragon background on Nolan's camera.
Yeah, it is. Emperor solid, yeah. There's a lot, dude. It's one of those things where at the end of the day, depending on your run, it's very infrequent that any of those cards are not useful. Adding a wild or adding a lucky or, you know, like to your point, Brad, death is super useful. It was one of the ones I was kind of confused on early on. You know, where I was at where Crispy is now, I probably didn't use death a whole lot. Because I just was like, well, why would I want another this? But like, dude, once you start getting, if you have like, you know, like a lucky card with a red seal, like, holy shit, man, fucking dupe that shit. That is useful. Or, you know, when it comes to, you know, if I am going like flush on my run, like, yeah, just one less like diamond and one more spade, man, like it definitely helps you out. Dude, Nightshader, yeah, you're with me, man. I don't know why flush is just so like attractive to me for some reason.
Well,
like, and it's easy.
It's because it's easy. It's easier to.
you don't have to think as hard when you're playing flush because you draw so many cards, right?
Especially
Like,
when you get what is that one
build,
Joker, like
it's like
the smear Joker or whatever, the one that makes the clubs and spades the same and hearts and diamonds the same. When you get that, like, holy shit, how can you not go flush? It's so easy to go flush with that.
I'm recording. We gotta.
Let me pee real quick because I've not gotten up. What's up, Crispy? I'm still listening. I'm gonna step away, but my headphones are still on.
He's gonna share some embarrassing information.
Forgot that flush is a poker hand. I don't think I've played a single flush.
Shut.
10 hours that I've
It's
played.
on the list.
I know. I don't look at the list. I'm like, I know the poker hands. Like,
shut the fuck up,
dude. I don't.
No wonder you're playing 2-pair.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's on the list.
It's on the
There's
list.
a planet card in the most basic planet pack.
I know.
You're fired, Chris.
I forgot what poker is. Like, you can just you know what? Oh, because I think of that Ocean's 11 bit where Brad Pitt's teaching all those like young celebrities to play poker, and Topher Grace is like, "Hey guys, look at this, all reds." Like that's what I think of when I think of a flush. I'm like, that's not a real poker hand. Like,
so Crispy. So there are a few things, and I would say definitely pay attention
triples
to that home screen. Triple, it can be good.
Triples is best.
Three of a kind is very useful. Dude, Crispy, there have been runs where I've gotten to the point. So when you get some of those spectral cards that like change everything to a single suit. Holy shit, or rank rather. You can very easily start getting some 5 of a kinds going. So one thing I will tell you, the first time this happens, you're not going to want to do it, but discard that royal straight.
Why? Oh,
because it unlocks a Joker. Yeah, it unlocks a Joker, and it can like the frustrating thing is there's Jokers I know that I don't have
that you have
because
to
every time I'm in the
run to
you have to sacrifice it. But I'm like, I'm doing so well. If I sacrifice this one hand, I'm gonna be fucked.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Gambling's bad, kid.
Are we ready? Can we go?
Are we?
I'm ready.
Brad, you ready?
Yeah.
What's up, Woods Gump in chat? He says, "Where's Brad?"
Still yes.
He's right here.
Let's go.
Hold on. Let me. I didn't save yet. Let me save it real quick, just in case.
Fantasy Files. This is more than just a mere random poker game, and I'm saying this as somebody who has personally not much interest in playing it. But this is one of the highest reviewed games of the year, and it will probably remain as such for quite some time.
How many weeks has it been out, and it's already at 1 million copies?
Yeah, it's this was like I heard this talked about on many podcasts.
The release date was February 20th. It hasn't been a month. It hasn't even been a month that it's been out, and it's already 1 million.
But Nick, you have no time for it.
I don't.
No time.
I mean,
how dare you?
There's just.
I mean, here's the thing, Brad. We prioritize, or we think about our time very, very differently.
That's your
Nick. It's on
option
Switch.
select.
That is my fucking option.
Option select.
I mean, he's making the decision to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Persona 3 at the same time.
No, here's the thing. It doesn't even have to do with that. If I wasn't playing,
that's an option select.
It would be the same thing because
it's just not.
You know, I just feel like I'm gonna dig myself a hole that I can't get out of.
It'll be a bad hole. Yeah. You know, it's like trying a little bit of Helldivers and go, hey, this is nice. You know, you just try a little bit and see if you like it.
No, but even Helldivers,
if you like it, you don't feel bad about it.
Helldivers is different. Helldivers is different. It's I don't want to be disrespectful to this game. I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah, I think the thing about Helldivers that Nick
you're just disrespecting yourself. I mean, it's fine.
I think the thing about Helldivers that Nick really resonates with is all the goofy fascism.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
It's the best kind. It's the best kind. Am I right?
He loves fascism, and he also likes to have fun.
That's true. For every hour, Nick, for every hour you play of Helldivers, you lose a point on your not racist points list.
Well,
that's a little mean. That's a little.
I've already lost three of the 4 points. Well, I haven't really earned any points yet. So, but I'm gonna earn 5 points.
Mhm.
Oh man, I'm recording. Are we all recording now?
I'm
I am-
recording.
I am recording.
Anyways, all right. Roll call starts now. Brad,
Hello.
he did so much better the first time. Nolan,
Hey, this is Nolan.
Crispy,
What up? So like a
Chris-
flush is or like a flush,
Stop
right?
it. Stop it.
Mhm.
Please.
Just all reds. You can just lay down all reds, and the dealer
No,
has
all
to give you
hearts,
money.
All
Crushed it.
diamonds.
crush it, and Chris Davis.
I'm also here not talking about a card game.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Chris Davis, or God, I did that thing where I'm like, I took. All right, rewind. Starting over. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I want to go in a completely different direction for a hot second, and I want to revisit Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for a second. I had this grand plan this past week that I was going to try and like really push through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because I want to be prepared for Dragon's Dogma 2, and I'm also juggling Persona 3. Also, if you're watching footage, I do apologize. This color might be a little washed out because of my
A
HDR
little.
setting or something. So I apologize, but whatever. Anywho, my plan didn't go very well. I am still only about 45, somewhere around the 45-hour mark in Rebirth, but I don't know where y'all stand. Nolan, I know you haven't started it yet. Chris Davis has finished it. Brad, are you
Yep.
still playing this?
What does that mean? Yeah.
I mean, are you still actively playing? I guess and Crispy, what about you? You're not?
No, I'm playing like 3 other RPGs at the moment.
Oh God.
And I haven't even played Remake, so like I'd have to my
Oh.
plan right now is to
Okay.
finish Like a Dragon, which I've gotten a lot farther in, and then play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and then maybe play Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then maybe play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
In the
So,
year
I don't know.
2026,
I don't
2027.
fucking know. I might be dead before I ever touch
Oh,
this game.
God.
I don't know. Like,
I mean, that's one way of looking at it for sure. So we talked about it the other week, and I think we had a pretty balanced approach to it in terms of like things that we really liked about it. In fact, things that we loved about it, with a fair share of things that, critiques of the game. And as I get farther, and I'm gonna be totally honest, some of this there might be a little bit of bias squeezing itself in here because I'm like stressing out trying to finish this game and like under like a
That's usually not a
time limit.
good
Not a great way to play a game like this, I
energy
suppose.
bring to a
But
game.
also, I've spent a lot more time now running around these big open spaces in this world.
They
you
just
hate-
don't respect your time.
and you
That's the
Shit
thing.
does.
You being rushed and still wanting to do everything is a problem.
Well, no, I don't. And this is the way I usually approach most open, quote unquote, open world games, is because I don't have time to do 100% everything. I don't want to 100% everything. I'm usually pretty good at identifying the kinds of quests and the kinds of things, activities you can do in an open world that interest me, and focusing on those. And that's kind of my approach. That's what I'm doing here. So I don't really actually have a lot of issue with the way they have designed the more open aspects of this game. I feel like a lot of people are some people are starting to compare this to like, Ubisoftification of an open world game, just map full of icons and whatnot. I don't really feel that way about this game. The way this game doesn't respect my time is that it refuses to like if you enter into a conversation with anybody, you are fucking locked in until that person is done talking, which sometimes is excruciating. I had this moment last night, and this is what prompted me to like jump into Discord and start just kind of like, man, something about this game is really fucking pissing me off. And it's like I started talking. I walked up to this group of children in one of the towns, or whatever, and started talking to them. And they started talking to me about some like bird that they needed help finding, and I was instantly done with the conversation. I was like, this is
very
boring.
like, rush pilled.
This
You're
is
rush
dull.
pilled, not
I don't
pilled,
like.
rush pilled.
I do not. No. I was like, because there's also such an obvious disparity between like the production quality, the writing quality of like a quest that has anything to do with the main characters and something that is very clearly just filler.
Well, I mean, the real problem is that it's, again, like I was talking about the last time we did this, the interaction going on with the animation, it's different every single scenario. So sometimes you can skip dialogue and get through it fairly quick. But
yeah, you can skip some.
If the NPC is doing an animation, it won't.
You have to wait for that animation to play. Yeah, honestly, I jumped towards like being stuck in dialogue sequences, and what I really wanted to kind of like drill in was the animations that you're locked into. Like, and the biggest example I can think of right now, and this is driving me freaking nuts, is I'm in the Corel region, and I got the buggy, which is a thing that you did in the original Final Fantasy VII, and it's great to see here. It works great functionally, but every time you get in and out of the buggy, you have to watch Cloud like open the door, climb the little ladder, move between the
like
seats into the front,
long.
into the driver's seat, and sit down. And then when you get out of the buggy, he has to do the exact opposite.
Hey Nick,
it is painful.
You not only are you right, but you're also rush pilled, and you're feeling this way because you're in a hurry and you want to get done.
No. Listen to me. I mean, I had the same problem with the remake with part 1. Nick, I had the same problem.
But listen. If this was my line of argumentation, and it was for a little game called Red Dead Redemption 2. You'd be making all kinds of excuses of like, look, man, I'm just soaking in the world and I'm going hunting for days at a time.
I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same at all.
Slow moving, forced animations. You can only walk through camp because, he would never run through camp.
I don't think it's the same at all.
I'm not saying it's literally the same, but I'm saying like a lot of the complaints you have with animations and slowness and stuff, which I think are valid, are a lot of the complaints that some people have with something like a Red Dead Redemption 2, which wanted to take it slow and value the animation.
So what is
being a cowboy?
I don't really know what your point is. I think these are two totally different situations.
I'm saying in that game you didn't feel bothered by it because you weren't in a hurry.
Not even in the slightest.
No. Because you weren't in a hurry. Like you in fact some of your most passionate conversations about Red Dead Redemption.
Do you want me to not?
Was it? No.
What is the? Stop for a second. Stop for a second.
Listen, no.
Do you want me to have this conversation? Do you want me to even have these critiques?
No, just let me finish my sentence. I'm saying some of your most passionate conversations you had about Red Dead Redemption 2 were about kind of like how you did like to kind of take your time and let the, and go off camping and just enjoy the scenery and
blow through your tits.
Yeah. And that's it. I'm saying you were describing something that was very much the opposite of being rushed, right? You were describing something of like taking your time, with Arthur.
I felt engaged and impressed, and just here's the thing, like
I know, but if you were like reviewing that game and you were rushing through it, you'd probably be like infuriated by the slowness of it.
I mean, I think also you have to take into account like the quality of the writing of that interaction.
Dude,
like
the writing has everything to do with it in this
absolutely.
case. I don't think this can hold a candle.
I'm not talking about
like there's at one
animations.
In one game you have this cowboy that you're interacting. You know that you're going to go off on this grand narrative quest with Rockstar writing that has this absurdity that's delightfully entertaining to it, and then like this. You go to a lady and she wants you to collect her chickens, but you have to hear her talk about all about her chickens.
We're talking about here. We're talking about animations, getting in and out of things, and being very slow. And I agree with it, but I'm saying.
But you're like deciding to use it as an opportunity to like turn my opinions about Red Dead Redemption 2 against me.
I'm saying that you might be right when you say,
but you're using it to
bias because you're in a hurry.
That's not. I would feel this way whether I was in a hurry or not. I mean, I said I'm in a hurry because I want to play Dragon's Dogma 2, but I'm also very much enjoying my time with this game anytime I'm doing anything that has to do with the main quest. Anytime I'm doing something that has to do with the grand story of running around this world with Tifa and Aerith and Barret and Red 13 and chasing after Sephiroth and having these really nostalgic moments that remind me of the original, I think it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's when I start to like be like, okay, I want more of this. So like here's the thing. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and I'm like, this world, this immersion, this level of immersion is so incredible. I want more of it, so I'm going to do all these side quests. And there's no disparity between the quality of a main quest and the quality of a side quest. In fact, some of the side quests are just as good, if not better, than the main quest shit here.
I mean, I was just talking about slowness of animations. We're not comparing the two games.
You are
You're
literally
right.
turning an argument against me and then getting defensive when I sit here and
I'm
tell you
not
there's a huge
literally
difference.
comparing the two games one for one. I was just making a point about the slowness of animations and being locked into that kind of thing and getting frustrated with it. That's it.
I feel like I'm in like a debate with you and you just are shutting me
No,
down.
I'm saying I'm not gonna. The debate isn't, hey, the side quests in Rebirth are just as good as Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm not saying that. That's absurd thing to say. So you don't need to like affirm that part of that comparison. I'm just saying.
I just don't know why you even brought Red Dead Redemption 2 into this. Then I guess is my question.
I explained it well. That's fine.
You
I'm playing Rebirth as well, and you're right.
Go
it's
for
pretty
it, Brad.
frustrating.
Take it away.
But the thing is, some of this side quest stuff leads to like a lot of really cool moments and like mini games and stuff. Like, did you do all the Fort Condor stuff?
Hey, dude, I'm not even at Fort Condor.
What?
Oh, you're talking about like the little board game?
Yeah, the Proto-Relic thing.
I mean,
I played a couple.
The Fort Condor quest line is in the Junon area, just like it is in the original.
I played a few things of it. I mean, I didn't stick with it too. I've played way more Queen's Blood than Fort Condor.
Okay, but Queen's Blood is a whole other thing. What I'm saying is Fort Condor is like this really, developed like quest line, which is really cool because they're getting sucked into the game and it's hilarious animations and stuff. And like it's a developed game that keeps going, and there's even like a fucking hard mode or whatever. That's just one of the side quests in this game.
I have not done
like
all.
There are
I've done like
some side quests that are whiffs, right? But like I'm always looking because sometimes it does lead to some like really cool stuff like that, and
I think the problem is
prickly, right?
The problem is
it has its ups and downs, but it's
when you start.
It's weird, it's different, it's unique, it's frustrating at times, but it's so unbelievably good and charming at other times. And it's not a smooth experience, but I think a smooth experience is kind of a lame one sometimes. And I'm glad that this game is like absurd and weird and prickly.
I love all that too. I don't know what to say to that. I mean, I stand by this because I don't think being in a rush has anything to do with this, because I would feel this way no matter what the scenario was. I'm literally when I see a side quest or an opportunity to pursue a side quest, it's a fucking gamble. Is this going to be a good thing, or is it going to be just a dreadfully boring thing?
Like the green, you're talking about the green side quests.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, going to
the thing is,
going
I
to
feel
a
like
board and
there's not
getting
so
a quest,
and nothing has been so tragically bad that, like, the thing is, I like the combat, right? And if the side quest involves combat, I mean, you're both right, but at the same time, like, I do feel like I'm taking my time, and this really hasn't been bothering me, and. I get it. We're different people. It's just
I don't know. I had the same complaints, same concerns when I played part 1. I was hoping that finally getting out of Midgar and having more open areas, seeing how they approach open areas, would maybe alleviate some of those concerns, some of those problems that I had with that original, and to some extent they do, but I don't know, man. I find myself.
I think the bigger flaw in the design might be that it's taking all the shit in one area and putting it in another, and putting it in another, and putting it in another. Like the verbs are repeated in big major chunks all throughout the game. So if you're trying to do everything in an area,
I'm not trying to do everything though. I'm not.
Yeah, but I am. So,
okay.
But I am. So like, you get kind of like sick of that formula, because they're kind of like lifting it and like putting it in a different area. And I think that's when it can get a little tiresome. So
to that point, I think what is one of the things that alleviates that repetitiveness is your method of transportation. And when I say that, I mean your chocobos. Because in each region, they are different. And as you progress, they get to be more and more interesting mechanics for traversal with them. I won't say what they do, but damn, every single area you go to, the next chocobo is so much better than the previous.
It's cool, but it's also like I think about what chocobos were in the original. And obviously there's going to be concessions made, and there's a lot of examples of like taking things that were in the original and finding really new ways to kind of adapt them for this format, because obviously this is a very different kind of game than the original, and the chocobos are no different. But like the chocobos were a big deal in the original, and maybe I haven't gotten far enough yet. I don't know if there's chocobo breeding in this game, but the chocobo breeding side quest in that original game
are they submissive and breedable?
Yes.
God damn it.
They are. No, but
really
like chocobo breeding in that original game was such a huge side quest.
Well, can I offer some insight here?
Sure.
Like, I haven't been playing this game, but like, kind of just going off the conversation and what you're saying, Nick, I think maybe part of what you're running into is that like you just don't like games with big swords. Like, you don't like big fuck off swords. And really, it is egregious. It doesn't make any fucking sense. How does he swing that thing? It's too fucking big.
Yeah.
Boo.
We're talking about
I mean,
all right, fuck y'all. I tried.
You
Nick,
got
if
me.
you want an answer to the chocobo breeding question, I can answer it. But
No, I don't want an answer.
I don't want an answer to that.
This is. I don't really want spoilers here.
Maybe in the next one.
Look, I still think this is a fine game. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. These side quest things, like we talked a lot about how I felt about side quests in that original game, and I still feel the exact same way about them here. I think most of them are
improvement, huh?
I don't think there's more of them, and by as a result, there are more good ones than there were in the original, but there are just as many shitty ones.
Yeah, well, I think the real problem is that there are.
I think
still
the ratio
shitty ones.
is about the same.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I think that the side quests do get a little bit more interesting narratively as you progress through the game. I think the problem is that a good bunch of these side quests are based around fucking mini games, and it becomes incessant at times, like truly fucking annoying. Like, you're in a region where you're gonna get a side quest that you're gonna have to do, in which the mini game is like the worst idea they possibly could have come up with.
Well, Final Fantasy VII was a game full of.
I understand that. I played that game through like 3 times. I remember. This has more, and they're of course so much worse.
That fucking Rocket League thing sucks ass.
What? Wait. Back up.
Rocket League with cats. Okay.
Yeah,
but like the shooting gallery stuff
dogs.
was cool. I like the shooting gallery. That was fun.
I actually think I enjoyed the Rocket League stuff more than I enjoyed the shooting gallery.
I mean, it's not the fact that they exist; it's the fact that they're mandatory. Like, if you do not do them, you cannot progress.
That's like
interesting.
Folly. But you never have to like play that much of them.
I don't know. It's such a weird. We can move
like
on. I mean, here's the
doing
thing.
each one once, right? Or no, that comes back, right?
No, yeah, and in mid game there is a refresh where you get more stuff to do out in the world, and those things come back, and you have to do them.
Out in the world. Oh, you have to.
Look,
do them.
all
Queensblood, sure.
All I want to say, I guess, is I am still really enjoying this game, but it's kind of crazy that like I'm like I'm somewhere in the 40 to 46 hour range, and I'm like at this point I'm going like 5 or 6 hours at a time between those moments, right? The moments that like call back to Final Fantasy, like the things that make you go, oh my god, it's this moment, I remember this moment, I love this moment, this is so cool. I'm going like 5 or 6 hours between those moments because I'm spending so much time running around the world. It's still, again, I'm not trying to do everything. I'm kind of laser focused on the things I know I want to do in each area, and I'm doing those, and I'm just kind of casually exploring.
What are those things, out of curiosity?
The summons are a big part of like going around the world and finding all the
and that's a pretty like lame task, but
I mean, but it's a lame task that earns me summons that I can then use in battle because I love you. I've always loved using summons in battle, so I'm gonna do whatever I have to for those.
The task for getting summons isn't lame. It's the actual having to fight those summons in a virtual environment.
I mean,
no, they're both lame. They're both lame. You could say they're both lame.
I think everything leading up. Look,
no, hitting the buttons is like fun for you. What are you talking?
No,
about?
what
in the circle?
No, I'm talking about like the idea of like actually collecting that intel to lower the difficulty of that fight.
Look, everything having to do with summons is, and again, I've said this before, and I can't speak for Final Fantasy 14, so Final Fantasy 14 people don't skewer me for this, but like, I feel like they have pretty much kind of like fucked up the use of summons in every Final Fantasy game since maybe 10.
Wait, what
12.
does this have to do with 14?
We all.
I mean, because I don't know how summons work in 14.
Oh, there are no summons in 14. They're just bosses, and they're incredible.
Well, okay, but like
that's true.
I mean, that's kind of lame too.
It's not lame, because if you want a game with good summons, you should play like a dragon.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mentioned that last time as well.
Pound
I mentioned that Pound Mazes. Right.
Look,
no.
I don't know.
Y'all need to
go.
Also, Kate Sith, like, that doesn't fucking
Tifa
work,
bikini,
right?
What's wrong with Kate Sith?
Dude,
I mean, like, this like hyper realistic style, like,
this is not hyper
like
realistic.
all I can think of. I mean, no, like it's more than like the little 8 or like 16-bit blobbies that they used to be.
Right.
Like looking at that little cat person with his little crown, all I can think of is that like ET tweet where that guy's like, me and my friends would have killed him with hammers. I can tell you that much. Like, like that's not okay.
I don't know. I like every single characterization of every character in your party in this game.
No, yeah, they're great. Let me tell you, I was not ready for Kate Sith's voice. Was not ready for it.
No, I was not either.
You know what? Cybele is absolutely
Also
correct. I'm
doesn't
so
make
sorry. Summons in Final Fantasy 14 are relegated to an entire class called the Summoner, and it's pretty sick.
Okay, so you can become a summoner and use summons in.
Yeah, it's like your whole thing.
Right. So
like
your original assessment that they're only boss fights was not correct. I see what
That
you're
is
saying.
correct, but also rebuttal. You're a little bitch.
Look, that's why I'm sure they're actually probably pretty great in 14. But 12, 13, 15, 16, and now this, I think they're all kind of a mess. And they're, that is what it is. I think they're kind of a mess, right? Look, I think
they suck in this game if we're being.
No, I think I think earning them. I mean, I like using them more than I've liked using summons and whatever. I don't want to get into this debate again. My point is, and I this is just one of those things. Now that I played like 80 hours of 16, I played through Final Fantasy 7 Part 1. I'm playing this, and I'm enjoying my time with it enough. But man, I just Final Fantasy I don't think means the same to me as it did.
Oh no, Nick's grown up. He's grown up and left Neverland.
No. It's. I wish I could get back to Neverland.
You can't go back.
Nick,
You'll never
go home.
Welcome to middle age.
This is what they meant.
Your midlife crisis is just around the corner, Nick.
You're gonna grow to resent that which you love.
But hey,
like,
it's not my fault. I just feel like they've kind of like stumbled with like every major entry since
like literally, it is debatable if like when Aerith is like, no, like what does she say? We got to talk business to Tifa or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
like that's maybe better than anything in the last 5 Final Fantasies.
Probably. No, look.
But
again,
also the ones you played on PlayStation 1.
Dude,
I'm telling you, like, it's so good.
But remember in Final Fantasy 15 when they went camping with Coleman camping gear?
Yes, I recall.
That was pretty good.
Fuck off. No, listen. I agree with you, Brad.
This is a dream game.
No, it is because believe me, Final Fantasy 7, as I'm sure it does to many people on this call, means a lot.
It means so much to me.
All right, Final Fantasy 9, boy.
Except for dude, fuck off. yes, Final Fantasy 9 means more to me than 7, but 7 is also a huge part of my own personal gaming history. Like it was it was probably the first quote unquote like hardcore video game I ever played, right? Like from start to finish, it was like, oh my god, video games are kind of amazing. This was the game, so it means a lot to me. And those moments when this game calls back to that game are fucking incredible. But I'm going 5 or 6 hours between those moments, and that sucks.
Well,
hey, whatever.
Like I
what
said,
are we even
you're
talking
just
about anymore?
you're
own
just
awesome
now.
moments. I mean,
You are
the robed guys are dog shit though. Can we all agree there? Like this whole like MacGuffin of we gotta follow the robed guys, complete fucking dog shit. In the original, is like they're following Sephiroth and like reports of Sephiroth. That was fine. Why does it have to be these dumb robed guys? And by the way, it's Glenn. Who the fuck is Glenn? So stupid. The Nomura shit is so let's move on from this topic.
That's
I'm
going
pretty sure
to be
there
a
are-
big point of discussion
back
when we
yet
eventually do
again.
our spoiler cast. Like it's,
Oh.
I will say, compared to the
I'm still waiting
original,
on
it
Baldur's
feels
Gate
a little
spoiler.
bit more like comprehensive as to exactly why you're going from X, Y to Z place. Because like in the original, yeah, you know you're following Sephiroth, but there's no like cohesive glue as to like why you're going to the gold saucer or this place or why.
No, the robe guys suck. No, it
No,
was fine.
I agree. They make it a little better once you get further into the game because they actually talk about the robe guys and like what's the mechanics with them.
Yeah,
Don't try and-
but that makes it better for you, not for me. I mean, we're just different people. The robed guys sucked in the remake and they suck here.
I called last week's podcast, or the last podcast we did, Everybody Hates Chadley. This episode is going to be called Brad Hates the Robed Guys. And it's
No,
just
everybody hates the robed
well,
guys. You
Chris
couldn't say
Davis doesn't apparently, so I can't say
no,
everybody.
He hates them too.
I don't like them. I don't hate them.
See,
Now-
I can't say everybody.
There's
Anyways,
an event later
let's
in the
move on.
game that explains it, which I appreciate for the narrative.
But you are also admittedly like obsessed with having things explained to you.
I mean, I didn't want to say it. Nick said it for me.
I mean, that can be good sometimes. That can be good sometimes. I don't necessarily think this is going to be one of those moments.
Yeah,
for me.
explanation and connections don't make something good inherently. I mean,
No.
it's just-
If it's a shit reason, it's a shit reason.
See, Winged
Oh,
says
it's
Chris Davis is a lore man, but like I would say I'm also a lore man, but like
I think you're less of a lore man than you think. You're more of a, plot man.
You're not a lore man. You're a vibes guy.
Yeah, you're.
I am a vibes
That's
guy.
true.
I'm
You're
definitely a
guy.
vibes guy for
Like you
sure.
know, like,
Atmosphere
what-
guy.
Yeah, I mean, like you probably can't tell us the deep lore of RDR2, but those vibes, immaculate.
I
you
can't
know?
tell you the deep lore of RDR2. I can't.
Probably not
okay.
like Chris Davis.
What
Okay,
year
no,
was,
no. We're moving on.
What year
We're
was
moving on.
Blackwater established, Nick?
That's
did.
just
Dude, let's have a RDR2 lore
Is it like
off between Chris
1910?
Davis and Nick.
Blackwater? 1910?
no. That's
Oh.
19. Okay, never mind. No,
So-
that was a trick question.
I don't
That
even
was
know if that town's called Blackwater, Nick.
There is
Is
a
it?
town called Blackwater.
Is it
Yeah.
Blackwater?
We can't go back to Blackwater. Some
Like
shit
the mercenary company?
that. Okay.
Brad, tell us about Unicorn Overlord. God damn it.
Can't.
At
Okay,
the end, like another, like the bitch game yet again. Damn it.
But before we do that, I just want to say real
Yes,
quick.
Brad
like,
froze.
Tonight because
Hold on, Brad. You just froze, and I lost everything that you just said. So you're probably gonna have to
Yeah.
repeat it.
I didn't say anything yet.
Well, you were talking when you froze, and then you were talking when you unfroze. So go ahead.
But no, Chris Davis was gonna say something.
I just want to say, I know both of you aren't gonna beat Rebirth until probably May, but like,
Oh,
can we
sorry.
plan?
Fuck off. I'm gonna finish that this month.
Bullshit.
rush
That ain't
pills.
happening.
This
So,
guy.
like, can we plan on doing a spoiler cast? Because I really want to talk about this with someone who's.
We're
finished
waiting
it.
on Nick to finish Baldur's Gate to do our spoiler cast. So, we're
I hate
just
you. I hate
Yeah,
you
Nick.
so much.
Hurry up
I
and
hate-
finish Baldur's Gate, Nick.
he's
What? Wait,
anti-rush
whoa.
pilled with Baldur's Gate.
Crispy, why don't you finish Baldur's Gate?
Oh, how do you know I haven't?
Because I'm pretty sure you haven't.
Good
Have you?
guess, but still.
Yeah, but he's got like 18.
Yeah,
playthroughs
but how
going,
did he
doesn't
know?
He's tracking your Steam
But
history.
still, where did the lighter fluid come from?
It is weird because you got really close in at least one of your playthroughs. Your original.
No, I am real. I didn't get really like. Stop talking in the past tense. Like it's still ongoing. It's happening. Okay.
Yeah, so am I.
I
God
beat the
damn
murder
it.
tribunal. Okay, I got closer.
Yeah.
I'm closer.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, there are entirely
Wait, that
too
was
many
2 months
games
ago.
that are fucking too long, coming out
No.
too close
No.
together. This is insane. It's insane. You can't keep up with it.
I know
What's going to be
your
your Baldur's Gate 3 of this year, though, Nick?
Rebirth,
What's
probably.
the one that you're going to say is brilliant, but you're going to keep putting off for years?
Infinite Wealth.
Well, no, I don't
he's
think.
not
I don't
gonna
think that's
play that
brilliant.
shit.
You're not gonna play Infinite Wealth.
I haven't played I've never played a Yakuza game in my life.
Okay, but you should play Like a Dragon.
He's
Nick.
like
You
my
should start
wife
with
in
right
Captain
now.
Crunch. He's like my
What?
wife in Captain Crunch.
What's wrong with Captain Crunch?
Did I not explain the Captain Crunch? I guess we don't
No,
have a
I think
podcast.
no.
So I found out my wife is 35 years old. Okay.
You
found out
she's
your wife is
35?
Found that out?
Oh,
She
thank
told
God.
me- she told me that she's never had Captain Crunch in her life. And I'm like, okay, well, you grew up in a house that didn't buy Captain Crunch. That's fine. She also said she's never had Captain Crunch because she thinks she won't like it, which is fine. I mean, maybe not fine. That's fine. Whatever. She's kind of a picky eater. Also, we had Captain Crunch in the house because I eat Captain Crunch, and I'm like, okay, well, we have Captain Crunch. Now's the time to try it because A, she likes cereal. B, she likes kids' cereals. She'll eat that shit, right? For whatever reason, she's like, no, I'm going to keep the streak alive. I refuse to even eat a bite of Captain Crunch because I think I won't like it. And at that point, I'm like, that is not normal. That is not a picky eater thing. You are being weirdly stubborn. You're an
That
insane
actually
person.
sounds like something my wife would do too.
That's
Old
I don't know if it's
Yes.
not about Captain Crunch, but
She's
I
folded.
also know people who are similarly stubborn, and they're just people who are like, it's almost, I don't want to say they're stubborn just because they don't want to be proved wrong, but I think it's also kind of like hey, you know what? I've lived my life this long. I don't think
need to
this thing's
change it.
going to change my life
The
for
first
the
time,
better.
the first time
We
she's
have
Captain
in the
Crunch,
house.
it's like a
I had a
recalled
bowl
bad
of cereal, and I
Gozer.
was like, you can have just a bite. And she'll be like,
nope.
I'll have nothing. Like when Nolan's on a plane and they have no Dr. Pepper. He's like, well, we have other drinks. And he's like, no, thanks. I'll have
Dr.
nothing."
Pepper's your airplane drink? Okay.
It's mine too.
That was one time
Actually-
when me and Brad were on a plane together that I didn't want any other drinks.
Listen, sometimes like these preferential things, they get kind of attached to the part of your brain where you like keep your sense of self-identity, right? Like part of her identity is not knowing what Captain Crunch tastes like.
She's probably never even thought about the fucking cereal like for more than 2 seconds. She's not creating an identity around it. That's what's so crazy.
but
about it. And the thing is,
it is a minuscule part.
bought-
It's like if I eat the Captain Crunch, I have to let go of this like this burden I've carried my whole life.
For example,
it's like Nick in like Tales from the Borderlands, right?
No,
he
listen,
doesn't want us
listen.
to be right.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I was gonna say, listen, I've gone 37 years of my life without playing Balatro, and I think I'll make it the rest.
Yeah, but you're just
That's not how that
dumb.
works.
But that
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, so I didn't press her on it because I knew if I did, it would eventually become, well, I'm not going to try Captain Crunch out of spite, which is something I understand. Spite is a relatable thing. So I didn't want it to become spite. But at the point when it's in the house, she eats cereal, she likes sweet things, it's just there. If she had some story of like, oh, I heard from another kid that it scratched up the roof of their mouth or something.
Oh,
so I
which
don't
is
know.
true.
Totally
It's
does.
not that.
True.
Sometimes you got to suffer for the sweetness. You know what I'm saying?
After a week, and
Oh,
I wasn't
God.
pressing her on it, I did buy another box of Captain Crunch, cinnamon Captain Crunch, which I never had before because she likes cinnamon cereals. And I'm like, maybe this is like the Trojan horse.
Here's what you do. Here's
Eventually-
what you do, Brad. you take her cereal that she likes, you take the bag out, you put the Captain Crunch in that box, and you hope she
she's
just
not
doesn't.
blind. She's not a
Or
blind person.
no, you're right. That's a stupid idea. What you really want to do is wait until she's asleep, and then when she if she ever starts snoring or something, just kind of blink little crunch berries into her mouth while she's sleeping.
I haven't been pressing her on it. I just have it around the house.
That could have been.
She eventually
so
came to me and
bad.
told me,
Pressure on the Heimlich.
"I'll try them, but only dry." And I'm like, "No,
No deal.
If you
What? Wait. You
gotta
won't
try it
let
with
her
milk.
try. No, fuck that. I've never eaten
Captain Crunch is a milk.
I've never eaten Captain Crunch with milk. I don't eat any cereal with milk. That's ridiculous. You're setting.
Well, she does.
If she got to the point where she was like, I'm gonna try it, but without milk, and you said no deal,
now you're the asshole.
1,000% your
Captain
fault.
Crunch is a weird texture, right? Well, because I don't want her to judge it
cereal
based on
is.
not having it be a milk, because Captain Crunch, it absorbs the milk unlike other cereals.
Okay, as a host, I'm putting my foot down for a second. Okay, we got to talk about Unicorn Overlord before we do that.
We should have been playing the Unicorn Overlord footage while we talked about Captain Crunch.
No, real quick. I just want you all to know, I've made it 37 years of my life, and it finally happened last week.
37.
I got up in the morning, getting ready for work. Right, I'm running short on time. I'm gonna just have some cereal this morning. Right, pour some cereal into a bowl, take the milk out, pour the milk into the bowl, lift it to my mouth, put it in my mouth. Guess what? Fucking milk is spoiled. The most disgusting thing that's ever.
And I'm sure you didn't let it ruin your day.
It ruined my morning. It was pretty. I had to go brush my teeth, rinse my mouth out 4 times.
What is the first thing he did for the first time in 37 years?
Ate spoiled milk without realizing it was spoiled.
Yeah. People talk about spoiled milk, but I don't think many people have actually had it make its way into your mouth before you realize that it's spoiled. No. Here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing. I didn't smell it, but I did the date check on the carton. It was still 8 days away from the expiration date, so I was like, "This is fine." And I didn't smell it. I didn't. That was the crazy thing. I didn't fucking smell it, even when I'm
literally. It is an involuntary action. I unscrew the cap because we're in America. We don't have bagged milk or anything. You unscrew the cap and you immediately lift it to your nose and sniff it.
I mean, it is now. That is now something I'm going to do every single time.
This is just what you fucking deserve for being a goddamn dirty milk drinker. It's unnatural. It's unnatural. We're the only animals in the world that drink milk after our infancy. This is just,
No, that's the funny thing. Robin hates milk, bitch. Robin hates milk, so I was like, "Can you smell this? Tell me if this smells bad." Because even after that, I was smelling it. I was like,
she
"I can't."
Hates milk. It's always gonna smell bad.
And
to
she
her.
was like, "I hate milk. I'm always gonna make that face." So, yeah. Anyways,
Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah. All right. So how many unicorns are
Chris
in
Davis,
this
are you gonna play this soon?
No.
No.
I don't have. Oh. I can't. I put 96 hours into a JRPG, followed by another 83 hours into another JRPG. I can't right now.
Huh? I think he's. Oh.
What does that mean, though?
This is a game that's going to be 50, 60 hours long for me. I can't right now. I need something shorter.
Oh, play Pacific Drive. It's fantastic.
That's not what she said.
Or whatever. Are you passing on this game?
No, I fucking bought it. It's right there.
Don't point to some shit on your shelf, dude. That does not mean shit.
Did you see the bikini witch with the boobs? I mean,
Wait, is that
spent $130 in this game? I'm gonna fucking play it.
$103?
30.
$130?
It's the collector's edition, man. Come on. It's fucking vanillaware. It's got a huge art book inside it.
Oh my god.
You know how many Japanese games Nick has purchased over the years? Like 700. You know how many he's finished? Like, how many Final Fantasies are there? That's how many.
That is not fair.
No, he never finished 14.
That's true.
Nobody finishes 14.
Yeah, Unicorn Overlord. We did talk about it when I played the demo, which was kind of the original game. But I have been playing. This is the main game I've been playing, and I've been playing a lot of it. I'm over 35 hours in now. I figured out. So I've been playing a lot of it. And one of the things I didn't really talk about, or I didn't get to show on the last time I talked about it, was kind of that this is sort of this open world
game where you're just kind of running around the map. You know, it's not just a battle to battle to battle game, which is a lot of strategy RPGs are. This is a game with a world, and there's like side quests and like secrets and stuff, and towns and like stuff to do in those towns. You know, and it's cool. Like this is one thing I've realized is that this is a supremely addictive game. Like it's you get into like really addictive loops of you know, going from battles, and then the rewards of those battles. I mean, you have enough honors, and now that you have enough honors to like upgrade a squad to like have another unit in it, you know, or to like unlock a new squad, and you maybe you get these new story characters which unlock the ability to hire, you know, a new type of class, and you know, it's a really good addictive loop, and it's just a really good strategy game. Like, you know, people early on were like, hey, the battles, they play themselves, but again, that's just sort of the animation. All the work is done sort of outside of battle, right? Where, you know, and we talked how this game has like a gambit system, right? And the things you do with the gambit system is everything, right? And you combine that gambit system, you know, which is sort of like your priority. Like, oh, well, this class has a certain type of attack that's really good against like armored units or flying units. Well, only do this attack if there is a flying enemy present, right? And it's like, well, actually, you can combine it to where only do this type of attack if there's a flying enemy present, and also the lowest hit points of the flying enemy's presence. You know what I mean? Like you can really tweak these these tactics, this gambit system, if you will, to where it's like you're tinkering with like a machine that's going to play out in a certain way, and you want it to like do a certain thing. And you could do mock battles, you could do battles out in the world. You see me getting into fights here, but this is an actual like battle like a where you're moving and capturing towns and getting into like multiple fights and trying to like take a castle. These are just sort of little encounters that can happen out in the world.
Is
But
this gambit system you're talking about?
it's tinkering with those squads and like trying, what if I do this class with this class, and you can combine like the team composition with the gambit system, but also like the really like cool and like potent itemization. Like the equipment you get in this game can really change the way like an entire character or class or like whole squad performs. And like it's fucking around with those things that have made this game like so addictive. Like I spend so much time just theory crafting and getting out into my squads and like swapping out equipment. And like I kind of want to give an example. I'm looking at this footage, but you might have like a sword that has this effect that, you know, at the very start of battle triggers this ability immediately. It's like a battle start ability, right? But you can equip that weapon on like a really slow character that is really strong, but now he's doing an attack at the very start of the battle, so his actual slowness doesn't matter. Or here's a good example. There's like certain classes that can attack an entire row, right? They might not be able to kill them, but they can damage like 3 enemies because they're in a row, right? And then you have like a cavalry unit that can, like, if he kills a unit, can go again. He gets another turn. Basically, he gets the resource back that lets him act again, that certain like ability type, right? So if I just need to make sure that the unit that can attack multiple enemies at once goes before the knight, which is going to like finish them off and create a chain of like finishing off all the enemies in a combat, right? So it's like, but this character that can attack like a whole row at once, he's really slow. So now I'm throwing items on him to make sure that he goes first, right? And maybe like my cleric has an ability that will proc like an attack buff, and I want him to do it on the knight because the knight's finishing everyone off. But the way I do that, it might be like setting a tactics menu to where she's prioritizing using that buff on like the unit that has the highest hit points in the back row, which just happens to be my knight. It's like really tinkering and tweaking your squad to like create these really cool chains to do like wild shit, right? Like I can go into like initiate a fight like preview where I lose fucking horribly. But if I really think about it and like tinker some things around, like I can make it to where I don't take any damage and I one shot the enemy. And like that's how
granular does the gambit system go? I'm curious.
It can be very granular. I mean, like the amount of options you have are insane. Because I have a witch that has the ability to freeze enemies, which is nice because it means they can't act. And so I also want her to go like really early, right? Which is nice. But I do that with like itemization. But as far as like the actual like tactics, I now want to not finish off the frozen enemy. I want my other characters to attack the enemy that's not frozen because I've already effectively like crowd controlled that, disabled that frozen enemy. So I can go into the tactics and make it to where they only target like enemies that are not debuffed. Like there's so many options to like absolutely fine tune the tactics.
And
like,
this also allows you to manipulate like the turn order.
Exactly. I mean, well, so you control the turn order with things like that. With things like I mean, itemization is like a big part of like controlling the turn order. Obviously, like class type, right? There's some classes that are just faster than others, but you can like make it to where you give an item to your fast character that can like give her turn to a slow character that is now going like much sooner than he normally would. And it's sort of like there's even items that might slow a character down, right? Because you want them to go last. Like for example, the main character, his like bread and butter attack, he's like a tank, but in his attack will heal him. He'll life leech, right? Well, if he goes first in battle, he's going to use his life leech while he has a lot of hit points. You don't want that. So, but there's an item that can make it like really slow him down, his initiative, to where he's going towards the end of a fight, and now his life leech ability is actually healing him when he needs the health. It's cool. Like there's so much to tinker with. There's so much theory crafting, and the items are good. I'm consistently running into items and like weapons and accessories, armor and stuff that are really changing the way I think about my comps. And like if you're the kind of person who goes hard for that kind of stuff, this game has got you, which I'm glad, because I always worry a little bit that maybe like maybe we talked about it last time, but like the strategy game in 13 Sentinels is not very deep, right? There's just not a lot there to like tinker with this. And so I was a little worried about this, but this is not shallow at all. There's a lot to fuck with, and I love it. And I also want to say shout out to like there's a lot of battles, like there's a lot of like combats and stuff. And this, what you're seeing now, is like a real combat, but like there's a lot of cool variety, and like they're consistently introducing new ideas, new enemy types, but new also like map gimmicks and stuff. And I'm like consistently surprised like how much variety there is. And like it's this game is fucking rad. It's really rad.
I want to know two questions. One, do you still think this? What are your feelings on the story? Just is it going to do any? Is the story interesting enough to do anything for someone like me?
I mean, it's as good as like any other vanillaware game that's not like 13 Sentinels, right?
I mean,
like
I liked
13 Sentinels
story.
is like a visual novel kind of thing, and its story
that's
like
a mystery.
It's like a mystery, and with all these twists and stuff. This is not like that. This is like a Fire Emblem story or whatever, right? It's like well, written and well acted. Like the performances are good, but the main story is just like you're a liberation, you're leading this liberation to take back your kingdom or whatever, because you're the prince, and when you were a small child, your kingdom was taken over by the evil bad dudes who are very evil baddie dudes. And you're winning battles, and you're recruiting new characters who are like, hey, no, actually I'm not one of the bad dudes, I'll join you. And like there's cool like little character moments, and like some of the characters just like look really cool or have like a good cool personality. And there's like cool little character moments here and there, but this is nothing like 13 Sentinels. I mean, the story is not going to be the thing that drives you forward. I'm playing on expert, and I think that's a good difficulty balance. I think most people should probably play on expert, honestly. I feel like if this game,
you would recommend I play it on expert?
Well, so here's the thing.
I feel like I just insulted myself by saying that.
When the demo came out, they did something stupid, and that's that right before the game came out, they made all of the modes easier. And I think they weren't I don't think they had enough time to really think about the balance. Like when the demo came out, they had story like difficulty, they had tactical difficulty, and they had expert difficulty. And I played the expert demo, and it was actually pretty challenging. When they patched the game for release, or like right after release, to introduce story, a new mode called normal, tactical, and expert, and they made all of them easier. So even though there's an extra difficulty, expert is actually easier than it was in the demo. I don't know why they made all of the difficulties easier, but it's really frustrating because I feel like I'm starting, now that I've got a hang of the game and I'm a lot further in, like your shit's getting more and more powerful, and I feel like the enemy's not quite keeping up. And I'm just becoming better at it and like more knowledgeable. And I feel like I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to start steamrolling this game. And I don't like that feeling because I want to have to, I want to have to feel like I need to be doing some of the theory crafting I'm doing to be successful, not just, well, I can just not think about it and make this team composition, steamroll everything. I don't want to get into that situation. So I'm a little worried about it because it's not, there hasn't been weird difficulty spikes for me. Like the hardest stuff I've done is still the earliest stuff, I feel like, which is not a good feeling.
Remind me, does this game have permadeath in it?
No, it has no permadeath. I mean,
Okay, all right.
there is a difficulty you can unlock when you beat the game that is slightly closer to resembling permadeath, but even then, I mean, there's ways around it. I wish that difficulty was available from the start. And I don't know, maybe some people will struggle with it, but it, like in a good way. But I feel like they're not going to do that if they pick normal. You know, like I think if you picked expert, maybe you wouldn't steamroll it like maybe I inevitably will. But that balance might be actually end up being really like good for you. And you could always turn it down. I just can't turn it up anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you seem pretty adamant
cool.
that this is not something I should even bother with.
No, I mean it's just
got some good vibes and some cool.
It's just not your thing. You couldn't even get through 3 houses. I mean, like this is just not the one. It's just not the one. I mean, this is a very meaty, long game with a big world. I mean, it's just you're not gonna breeze through this thing. I don't.
Well,
think.
no,
It's
I didn't think I was gonna breeze through it. That's for damn sure.
It's a lot. It's a lot of fighting. It's a
lot of video game. Okay.
But it's really fucking good. And if you're a strategy RPG person, you know who you are. If you like a Fire Emblem, if you like a Final Fantasy Tactics, if you like any of that shit, like this one's a gem. This one's awesome. Like this is an awesome game. And you know, I've been enjoying Rebirth, and I was enjoying Yakuza before that, and I was enjoying, you know, Tekken and shit before that. I'm saying this year has been like pretty amazing for me. Kingsvane, you know, I started playing early on this year. But
holy
like
shit, that was this year.
And Balatro, absolutely adore Balatro. But like this game here has me like is my main squeeze right now. It's awesome. I love it.
Cool.
But it's my shit. This is like, you know, it's literally.
How many points do I get if I play this one and beat it?
I don't know. You
10?
have to look.
10 points?
No, not 10 points. This is not a 10
I think
point.
it was like 2 or 3.
No, because it's pretty. You know, I feel like if something's pretty, you get less points because you're a bitch.
You're such an asshole.
Well, I mean, is there not like actual like, you know, there's reason there, right?
There's some truth to that. Doesn't mean you're any less of an asshole for saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody's a little like that, right? No one wants an ugly ass game.
True. That's true.
Yeah. That's true. Ugly games suck always.
Yeah, look at Kingsvane.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Kingsvane's gonna sell a lot of copies.
That actually felt gross. Taking a pop shot at Kingsvane for no reason. I have no idea. I'm sure that.
So I have played a bunch of Kingsvane, but I stopped playing it because I'm in their Discord and I follow the development very closely, and they update the game constantly, including like new classes and stuff. And it's definitely the kind of game, and I know this with Horizon's Gate as well. I'm at the end of my footage, I think. It's gonna get better.
You charge your battery, Brad,
because they keep introducing like new classes and stuff. So I'm taking a little break on that one. I'm gonna go back to it for sure because that game's awesome. So yeah, that's it.
Cool. Let's roll right into the 4-player minute. it's that time, right? Did I skip over anybody? We didn't really have an official like doc this week, so I don't know if I missed anything. Okay, sounds like we're good. Okay. 4-player minute. Final thought of the week. You know how this works. Brad, I'm actually going to let you start this week.
I'm not ready. Go with someone else.
What? That's bullshit. You can't do this to me. You've called me out twice now for not letting you go first.
I just want to say, speaking of year of crazy games, crazy Japanese games, I'm excited about. I will say, there's been a lot of conversation about Rise of the Ronin, negative previews, Team Ninja's open world samurai game. And I think it's not going to score great. And I'm a little bummed out that it is not.
Is it going to be my Days Gone of the year?
It's no, not even fucking close. This one's.
I think it could be.
No, Nick, why? Why this one? Why this one?
I don't fucking know.
I don't think you're gonna like Rise of the Ronin. Maybe you will. I don't know. But and I have misgivings about I think Neo like 1 and 2 have maybe the best action combat system of any game ever. Like it's the best. The best combat is.
I can only speak to number 1.
So to think. I hate, and I've said I hate to see that they're going in the direction of like simplicity of just trying to like knock off Sekiro or Tsushima, which I get it. Those games are successful and people love them, but those games also still exist, and they're going to hold Rise of the Ronin up to those. And this game is a Team Ninja game, and it doesn't have probably a quarter of the budget of either of those fucking games. And well, maybe I don't know how expensive Sekiro is, but I'm saying like. People, this is they've streamlined it into something that is now going to be compared to like a thing that is the same, but also like, probably 5 times the budget in like something like Tsushima, and which was beautiful even as a PS4 game. And this shit is looking like a PS3 game, right? And I'm like, okay, well, when you were Neo, you had your identity. You had this it was a Souls game, but like the combat was like super deep and complex, and you can really get into like really cool weapon styles and stances and like actual like crazy tech, right? And now you've made something that is you've lost the thing that gave you the edge, I feel like, with Rise of the Ronin. And I'm like, it's
grain of salt, though. Reviews are not out, so we don't officially know any of this yet.
Reviews aside, but we do know that like there's one attack button now. To go from like Neo 2 combat to like you have one attack button, like what the fuck? So I'm still gonna play this game. I like modern Team Ninja. I think modern Team Ninja has been doing work despite the crazy comment that Chris Davis had in Discord the other day.
What did I say?
I knew you were going to bring that up.
You said, I'm not a fan of modern Team Ninja. Like, what is not modern Team Ninja? You're a fan of Dead or Alive? You're a fan of the bad Ninja Gaiden games? There was only one
Black.
good Ninja. That's it, though.
That's the only one.
What else did What else did Team Ninja do after Ninja Gaiden Black that wasn't mid or terrible? Like, literally nothing until Neo, right?
Crickets. Fucking crickets.
Yes. Right? So, like, what do you mean modern Team Ninja? Modern Team Ninja has, in terms of, Team Ninja's legacy, modern Team Ninja has been killing it.
I'll reiterate my problem is that I had such a very poor experience with that initial Neo Alpha demo that
the initial one?
Dude, it fucking... I cannot express to you how much it
was like the hardest game I've ever played in my life, that first Neo, alpha. There was also 2 alphas that came out before that game came out. They figured it out. The Wolong had a beta as well, where the parry was like... People were like, what the fuck? I can't parry shit. You made a Sekiro, except the parry is impossible.
And I played the demo for Wolong, and I didn't like that either.
I know. So... And they fixed it by the time the game came out. Like I'm saying, they took the.
Well, then why do I keep playing demos where I have bad experiences?
Maybe you should just stop playing Team Ninja demos.
Why do you keep playing demos?
Yeah, stop playing alphas and play a video game. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. The games ended up being good. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know if that one's on you or them. I don't know. But I get it.
It may also just be my personal taste.
Was horseshit. Well, I mean, obviously that too, right? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Rise of the Ronin is about to hit drop 75 minus maybe, so we'll see. I'm excited. Also, shout out to Ayuden Chronicle. Yeah, there's a beta out for that for backers. I'm not touching it. I'm waiting for the final release, but the opinions have been good. So impressions have been good. So I'm excited.
No, just for the people listening at home, Nolan is nodding and shaking his head and
Yes.
nodding. And
I'm also currently avoiding the backer demo.
Echoing Brad's thoughts there on Ayuden Chronicles. Nolan, why don't you go next?
Sure. My 4-player minute starts right now. Like I said, I've been having a very love-hate relationship with Balatro.
A lot of love and a lot of hate.
There are times where I get very excited when I'm playing it, and there are times where I get very frustrated, and I'm like, "Why do I even play this game?" But I'll continue to play a little bit more. But like I said, I do want to put it down because I do want to get back to Yakuza, mainly because Dragon's Dogma 2 is about to come out, and I am pretty hyped for that. Not just fantasy critic wise, but everything I've been hearing about the
I'm surprised nobody here did the character creator.
I thought about it, but I was like,
Character creator.
I will admit that people
made a weird character,
a weird looking guy. I've seen some pretty impressive stuff, but very excited for that. Can't wait to play it. The first one was one of my favorite games that year, and also definitely in somewhere in my top of all time. Fantastic nice. Game. But that's really it for me.
Cool. Chris Davis.
Sure. My hype and excitement is for anything but video games right now, because finishing Infinite Wealth and Rebirth back to back. Again, 96 hours in Infinite Wealth, 83 hours in Rebirth. I'm drained. So I took like last week off from video games, and it has been so nice. I've watched all the episodes of Delicious in Dungeon. I've watched the first season of the live action Avatar series. I'm getting caught up on TV shows.
Man,
watching
and
Shogun?
let me tell you,
I'm watching Shogun.
How good is Delicious in Dungeon though, huh?
Really good.
Or Dungeon Meshy, as we true fans call it.
Let me tell you something. That's a Studio Trigger show, and that is the most chill Trigger show ever made. Like
until it's not.
Until it's not. Like when it wants to kick in, it does. But like, so good.
I mean, that
final episode comes out Thursday.
Places.
Yeah. Also, really good time for movies. Godzilla -1 got an Oscar. That was awesome.
That's true. That happened.
New Godzilla movie comes out next week.
Was the Oscar?
Awesome.
What was the Oscar?
Visual effects.
Some technical
Oscar? That's not a real
bullshit.
Oscar.
Hey, that's a real
you say
Oscar, man.
Suicide Squad got an Oscar. Like,
I bet the fucking Matthew Broderick Godzilla got that Oscar.
Go look up the recording of that Oscar scenario thing from last Sunday. Just watch that. It is delightful. All those people were walking up on stage, and they had their own little Godzilla figurines, and the ladies were wearing Godzilla heels. Yeah, it was cute. It was delightful.
They were all wearing Godzilla heels. It was pretty cool.
And we got a new Godzilla movie next week. I didn't realize that Ghostbusters comes out this Friday.
I'm going to see on Saturday, baby.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to buy my tickets for that. It is a good time for me not to play a video game. I'm liking this.
All right. Crispy, your rebuttal?
Well, I would say that I was making excellent progress in Like a Dragon. But I haven't played in the last week or two.
Oh, God.
Because Destiny added hoverboards. Destiny 2 added hoverboards, like big surfboard-sized hoverboards instead of sparrows. So you can now fly around on a hoverboard.
Like the fucking Silver Surfer?
Yes, they go really fast. You can jump with them. You can do tricks. You can grind in midair on them, and they're so cool. But it's tied to like the Guardian Games event that's going on right now. So like in order to keep it after the event finishes, you have to like get like 1,200 medals or something in like a 3-week period. So I've been putting all my time into that to get this hoverboard because it's actually like really cool. A lot of fun. And just, it's nice to have fun with Destiny again, and kind of be excited about the final shape, even though I'm not.
One of these days,
I'm really dreading it. I'm really dreading the next like 6 months to come as far as that game goes. I would like
bad rumors going around about Budgie right now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of context to that I think is getting left out of a lot of conversations, and to the point where it's like there's factions of that community that are, people are talking about like Sony's really licking their lips to just like go in and take over Bungie, like oust the upper management and take over. Yeah. And at this point, a lot of fans, not all of them, but like there are groups of fans who are into that idea, because upper management and Bungie has been cited a lot of times as kind of being like a problem. With the sort of like development cycles and development processes. The way that studio works right now, though, is like they don't have a crazy amount of oversight. Like they're not just like a production studio for Sony, but they're butting heads a lot on sales numbers and on timetables. And I don't know. I'm remaining optimistic because the content that's coming out right now is actually kind of cool. They just did a live stream today showing off this like not season but like 2-month content update they're going to do right before the big expansion comes out called Into the Light, where they added like a new this new thing called Onslaught, which is basically like a complicated horde mode. It looks really fun. It looks cool. I truly love this game, and I want it to be okay. Like I just want it to be like in a place that's like okay and has maybe it doesn't have to be the most successful game in the world for me, but just not like dog shit. And I think that like enthusiasm is building up again, and people are still really burned by Lightfall, but before that we got Witch Queen, which was really good. So I don't know, like things could be okay. I want to believe that they're okay. If you have no skin in this game, whatever, like that's fine. You can be snarky about it, like whatever. That's fine, but I'm choosing
one
to
of these
hope.
days.
I'm choosing to hope.
One of these days, Crispy is gonna stop being ashamed of his game, and he's gonna bring
Yeah,
footage.
look,
We can actually see it in action.
Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, sound
I
like
want to see hoverboards.
Listen, man, like there's
just bring us 3 solid minutes.
There's still stuff to love about this game, and like I'm not buying the expansion until it comes out. Like I'm not pre-ordering it. I'm not buying it until it comes out and people are like it's good or it's bad. I'm not doing that, but I just want it to be okay. I do really love Destiny, and I just want it to be okay.
And that's okay. I want Destiny to be good for you and for others. That nobody wants a bad game. Nobody wants a
bad game. Nobody wants a bad game.
Yeah. Yep. All right. My final thought for the week. I had 2 real short. So I'm still pressing on with Persona 3. I'm still enjoying that game. I had a weird experience this past week where I spent my entire lunch break running through Tartarus on my Steam Deck, right? And I get to a boss, and just through happenstance, I made a poor decision. I didn't heal or whatever, and the boss fucking one-shotted my main character, and the game ends. Even though I had 3 live party members with almost full health.
Welcome to Shin Megami Tensei.
They ended the fucking game, and usually I was like, whatever, it'll give me an opportunity to start from the beginning of this battle, because it does that every fucking time. Because it's happened to me, not that exact scenario, but I have died a couple times over the course of the game, and it always just says, would you like to restart from right before this battle? And I say, sure, and it reloads, and then I go in, and I don't make that same fucking mistake, right? that option just gone. The only two options were go back to the beginning of Tartarus and lose everything you did from this entire run, or go back to the main menu, which is basically the same fucking thing. So I lost all the progress I made in that entire like 45-minute run that I had been doing. So that was let's just say I was having a really hard time concentrating at work after that. I was like just fuming. I was like, you've got to be shitting me. The dumbest thing. I was like, what modern RPG ends a battle, ends the game when 1 out of 4 party members dies? RPG. It is. Wait, what?
It's not a modern RPG.
No, but okay, sure, whatever. But like, it's a remake. It's a modern remake of a classic RPG where they did change and fix things. Like that could have been one of those things. And not to mention, I still don't get it because like I said, I have died before and it has given me the other option. So when I died, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Oops, I made a mistake. I won't do that again. And then I was like, wait, what? Why are there only 2 options now? What the fuck are you talking about? So that was pretty upsetting. And also coming to the realization that, as much as I'm enjoying this, there are certain things about Persona. I think it has a lot to do with like the characterization, like some of the characterizations that kind of annoy me and whatnot. And I was just like, when I finish this,
like
I might be. Yeah. There's a lot of Euphies in this game. I feel like to me, and I'm kind of like, I might finish this and just be kind of like satisfied with my Persona experience. I might just be like, this might be my. I don't know. I can't guarantee that when Persona 6 is announced, I'm gonna be like, let's go.
Wait, are you fucking serious, Nick? I don't believe that.
I mean, well, first of all, I haven't seen Persona 6, so I don't really know. I can't say for sure I'm not going to be excited, but like...
If you say that, I feel like at this point, you're only playing this game for the points.
No. I mean, dude, I am invested enough in the story. I've played 45 hours of it. Like, I like the combat. But like, I've also played 15, 20 hours of Persona 4, 15, 20 hours of Persona 5, and like, I know I'm just saying, like, the loop of Persona hasn't changed much. I mean, I hate to make this comparison, but it's almost like, sorry, Nolan, it's almost like Pokemon in that, like, they do the kind of same formula with each one.
This fucking guy.
You say that, Nick, but you got to understand the original Persona 3 was not... A lot of the stuff that's in this game that you're playing is stuff that came later from the sequels. So it might feel similar for that reason.
I played 4, I played 5, and now I'm going back to 3, but it's a modern
No, I know,
remake
but I'm
3.
saying 3 was a very like basic... I mean, like, it's not basic, but I'm saying the formula.
Look, I'm playing the game, I'm enjoying the game. I'm playing the game, I'm enjoying the game. All I'm saying is...
I'm just saying, like, I don't even like the Persona games, but even I'm kind of stoked to see Persona 6. So it's weird to hear you say
excited.
that.
No, I'm excited to see what Persona 6 is, but I'm just... They're really gonna, the what am I, like, I don't want to say gimmick, but, like, the conceit of that game is gonna need to be something
what
special.
Color it's gonna be?
No, I just need, like, the conceit of whatever Persona 6 is gonna need to be something special.
What color is gonna be?
What color? You mean, are you talking about, like,
color?
Blue, yellow, red? Green makes the most sense.
Green, you think, makes the most sense? Envy?
I mean, they've hit all the primary colors at this point, right? So
Mauve.
Look, I'm still really enjoying it. I just by the time I finish it, it's going to be kind of a hard... Persona 6 is going to be kind of an uphill battle, maybe trying to get me on board for it, but we'll see.
I don't believe that at all. You'll be...
And the other thing I didn't mean to spend this much time talking about Persona. I just wanted to give a shout out because Chris Davis is right. It's a great time for movies. There's a lot of stuff coming out that I'm really, really excited to see. I'm going to see Ghostbusters on Saturday. I got tickets for Monkey Man.
Did you see Dune?
I saw Dune 2. Thought it was fantastic. And I'm also really excited to see. Late Night with the Devil and Immaculate. I really want to see both those.
Dude.
The Fall Guy, I'm pretty excited for.
You know how Robin won't watch trailers because she doesn't want to know anything about the movie going into it, right?
She's eased up on that a little bit, and it's only certain movies.
And I've always kind of like rolled my eyes at that a little bit, but Late Night with the Devil is the first time in a long time where I've watched a trailer for a movie and I've been like, why did you do that? Like, why did you do that? Like, why did you put all that in the trailer?
If I know a trailer's going in that direction, I'll just shut it off.
Yeah, I know. I've done the same thing.
Especially with horror.
I want to see that movie, and that trailer was kind of like, oh, come on. Like,
can't wait to see it, though. It does look really, really cool. So, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff coming out. I'm going to be going to the theater a lot in the next couple weeks, and that's pretty cool.
You're going to be watching plays?
The theater?
Yes, I name dropped a bunch of movies so I can tell you how excited I am to go watch a bunch of plays. Yeah,
that'd be cool. Like a play is always something that I think is going to be like whatever.
Before COVID, we had
at the end of the play, I'm like, oh, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Every play that's happened to me.
Really?
Yes.
Before COVID, Robin and I had.
Okay, well, you're as a parent, you're about to start seeing some really shitty plays.
No, okay. I mean, like professional or semi-professional plays. I just like plays. I don't know. I'm
before COVID hit, Robin and I had season tickets to Broadway in Austin, or whatever it's called. So we'd go see a bunch of different stuff downtown. Those were always fun. Those were always a lot of fun.
Man, I pulled up the Draft House website, and there's a Monty Python the Holy Grail quote along that's going to be at the end of April.
That shouldn't be surprising at all.
What do you mean?
Those are the worst, right? Because it's one of those things where, like, we
went to the
Mummy parties are pretty fun.
I don't know.
We went and saw the Mummy. We went and saw the Mummy.
That's like saying, "Hey, you love Undertale. Don't you want to play Undertale with a bunch of Undertale fans? That'd be great."
Yes. I mean,
Brad's such a stick in the mud sometimes.
Really? Yeah.
It's like
that's the word for it.
It's like going to a fucking Rocky Horror Picture Show, like midnight screening.
No,
like
that's
fun.
That's fun. That's different.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta do. So this is kind of unrelated, but like I was trying to convince Robin to watch Scream with me a long time before she'd ever seen any of them. And I finally convinced her because I was like, they're doing Monty Python not Monty Python, Master Pancake at the Draft House for Scream. So the first time she ever saw Scream, which is a very important series, near and dear to my heart for me, and I had to go watch it with her at a Master Pancake screening, which was still cool, but maybe not the ideal experience watching it as a first viewing.
Master Pancake is doing Roadhouse next week.
The original.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've never seen it, so you know what?
You've never seen Roadhouse? It's classic.
Roadhouse does not need the Master Pancake-iness. Yeah. You could just watch Roadhouse and laugh your ass off.
It's my highway or the other
But
way.
to answer your question from earlier, Brad, I'm watching Shogun. I'm only 2 episodes into it, but I watched an episode just before we recorded this, and very good.
I want Rise of the Ronin to be good because it's if Rise of the Ronin is disappointing, it's super unfortunate because the timing seems perfect. Because I could just watch Shogun and get super happy to play a samurai game, and I'm like, well, this one's disappointing. I don't want that.
You should.
All right, listen to this shit, dude.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Do you want to say anything about Alone in the Dark having the most predictable reviews ever? Are you still kind of hyped?
Me? Am I still? I mean, I'm still probably gonna play it maybe at some point, but not right now. Not right now. That's for damn sure. Anyways, I liked that somebody pointed this out, and I did think it was actually pretty funny because one of the reviews on like OpenCritic, like the little blurbs or whatever they had, it was like Alone in the Dark 2024 is without a doubt the best Alone in the Dark game ever made, and it said 7 out of 10. And I was like, damn,
that sounds about right for that series.
But anyways, guys, that's our show tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Of course, you can watch us every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central on Twitch at twitch.tv/4Player Podcast. We're also streaming on YouTube. We're dual streaming on YouTube, so if you're so inclined, you can watch us there when we record on Tuesdays as well. You can find all of our episodes, of course, on 4playernetwork.com or your favorite podcast service. And most importantly, if you want to jump in and be a part of the ongoing community activity discussion, join us in Discord at discord.gg/4player. We would love to have you. In the meantime, Guys, be good to each other. Play video games. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
I just bought one of the last seats for Roadhouse.
Damn.
It's gonna be kind of surreal having that be the first. I mean, the movie's kind of surreal even without the Master Pancake stuff. I don't know. I find Master Pancake distracting at times. Yeah, I feel like you should only go if it's a movie you really love and you've seen a million times.
So that's how I felt.
Although I'd never seen Sleepaway Camp, and I saw that for the first time at Master Pancake, and that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my fucking life.
That's probably a movie doesn't really hold up on its own anymore. Anyways,
it does not. It's awful.
That movie's.
I will say
I had never seen the original Conan the Barbarian before I went and saw it at Master Pancake, and that was incredible.
Fair. Conan's pretty good.
I mean,
those guys are funny, but Conan's a good movie.
I will say this. That was not how I would have preferred to like expose Robin to Scream. But after we watched it at Master Pancake, she was like, "I want to watch all of them now," and then we just watched the rest of the series. So it worked. It had the desired effect.
I've seen that. Didn't we both go to the an earlier Master Pancake Scream that they did?
I've only seen it. I've only been one. I mean, I've only seen Scream via Master Pancake once. I did see it was. We did go to it was at the Ritz. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Fucking Cam went and saw them do Zardoz one time, and that's when I kind of regret not seeing.
Just for everyone in chat who has no idea what the fuck we're talking about, Master Pancake is the local version of Mystery Science Theater.
Is it even local anymore? Oh, Brad just ghosted us.
Yeah,
bye, Brad.
I mean, those guys are.
I mean, they're in the state. Like, I think they're
like a couple of those guys are like actual comedians, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think they even like wrote for one of the episodes of like the return season of.
No, they contributed. They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know John Earlier was.
But a bunch of people.
Episode.
A bunch of people did. That Sleepaway Camp, Master Pancake that I went and saw, they had a guest riffer. It was what's that guy's name? It was Doug Benson. And like he barely like talked the whole time. None of them had ever seen the movie. They riffed it like completely ad lib in the moment at the time. And it was the best Master Pancake I've ever seen. It was like the funniest thing in the fucking world. That
sounds stressful.
So good. It was so good. It was one of those where they have people bring DVDs and then they just like pick one.
Choose your own pancake.
That's pretty cool. Hey, I've never seen one of those.
Yeah.
Fantasy Files on the YouTube chat asks, "Have we watched a show called Sex Education?"
I have not.
I've never heard of it.
That sounds familiar.
I thought that was a more recent show, and he says he's rewatching it. And I was like, I feel like that's like recent enough he wouldn't be on a rewatch already, but maybe I'm wrong.
Nick's gonna tell us when it's okay to rewatch a show.
Yeah, I'm gonna
tell us. Nick's gonna talk to us about rewatching.
No, I thought that came out like last year. I thought Sex Education was like a last year thing. Or I guess maybe it's probably it's on the fourth season.
If I rewatched Andor, would you be like, nah, that's too soon?
Yes, no.
Really?
No,
because I did start rewatching it, and it's incredible.
Does anybody know when I am 100% gonna buy that Blu-ray of Andor for
It's
sure.
at the end of April.
Dini.
Maybe that's the only way I'm gonna be able to watch it. So.
All right. Well, I gotta pee, and then I've got responsibilities I need to see to. So I'm gonna leave you here.
All right.
Good night, my friends.
Good night. Good night. Goodbye. You know, if we all leave right now, no one will come back, and he's just all alone.
He would just close it out.
I hope he stopped his recording before he walked away. Well,
I've
have
got to buy
made
like
the
4 sets of movie tickets. Shit.
I have made the terrible decision to start going to the gym before I go to work, which means on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, which means I got to be up in 7 hours.
That's a decision. You made
That's
that
a decision,
to
but
yourself.
I'd much rather go in the morning and not sacrifice the little amount of gaming time I have over lunch or in the evening, especially when I have to edit podcasts on Wednesday nights. So yeah, and actually it ends up making me feel very recharged and ready to go and energized throughout the day. Usually I'm pretty groggy in the morning, so morning gyms, actually, there's a reason people do it in the morning. It's kind of nice. I hate getting up. Getting out of bed that early in the morning is the hardest part.
Hey, real quick, the rebirth footage you gave me today, is that like fresh, like you got it today?
I got it last night.
Okay, so you're still in that region.
Yes.
You haven't even gotten the chocobos yet, have you?
Not in that region, no.
Okay.
In fact,
all right.
Where I stopped, that footage stopped, is where I am. That's the last thing I did last night, and then I was like, I'm going to bed.
Okay. All right. That's a good frame reference for me. Good.
Yep.
Just wish I had somebody else to talk about it on the podcast.
Well, it's gonna be a while because on a good night, during the week on a good night for me, gaming wise, is like if I can get 2 hours of a game in at night is that's just where I'm at. So 2 hours on average Monday through Friday, and then if I'm lucky I can get another 10 12 hours on a game over the weekend, and that's still only if it's like a weekend where I'm doing nothing else. So
you got to find more of those weekends.
I wish. Also, I feel like I can play a game on my computer and sit in front of my computer for longer periods of time than I can sit on my couch playing my PlayStation. Because I feel like I get restless sitting on the couch playing TV, so I have to take like breaks. Which is probably, I need to go touch grass. But I don't have that problem when I'm in front of my computer, for whatever reason. Well, anyways, that's it. That's all I got. I'll see everybody later. Good night.
All right.
I'm sleepy.